Go live.
Live. Damn, did it.
Did it.
Yay.
Great job, everybody.
Okay.
Good. I'll see you next week.
That's our show. Bye.
Yeah. Open up chat this time and make sure it's open so I can see when people chat. I know.
You got to see the people chat.
There. Here. Range on my windows. Okay. Sweet. I wrote down all of the characters we've met so far.
Wow.
Where can we see it? There it is. And there's some clocks. Oh, you can't see camera. Oh well. Believe me, there's clocks. There's clocks for all the things. Especially so there's not any
little hourglasses
clocks.
by each person.
By each threat, yes.
Oh no.
They're little
hunter.
See, they're like little six section clocks that you tick the things off of.
They're like Trivial Pursuit pies.
They are exactly Trivial Pursuit pies.
I choose history.
All right, the Limehouse Lurker was born in what year?
Oh no.
Oh, this is a trick question. Be careful. Because it's a child, but also a vampire.
But we decided it was a young vampire, right? Was
Child fire. Yes.
Yeah. So it's sloppy and anxious. Every teenager. Yeah.
Weight of vampires.
I just want to suck your blood inside. So still. Yeah. Speaking of clocks, one thing that I discovered upon reading the Coven threat book,
that we don't need to worry about at all.
You don't. You shouldn't worry about it. Should not worry about it.
We need them to deliver things to a small European town.
Yeah.
They're gonna they're gonna bring us hot chocolate and banana bread.
Yeah. It's cursed hot chocolate. Every thread has a little like, if Hargrave House ignores the threat, this stuff happens.
Good things, I assume.
So we have to run around and touch every threat during the day.
Right?
That's
pretty much. Yeah.
Split up. Everyone go bother a threat.
The important thing is for the Coven in particular.
So many things
you
to touch.
Only have if Hargrave House does not resolve the threat within 6 night phases, the Coven completes their terrible ritual.
Oh no.
So you got that.
That's not a unit of time I keep in my head very well.
So just any threat, we just have to resolve a threat within 6 nights.
No, just the Coven. The Coven.
Oh, their threat in particular.
Yeah. Their threat. If you don't do it in six nights, they do their ritual, and all of Hargrave's house work is undone.
Well.
Oh, that's what we had said about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So basically, I'm hearing is we ignore everything else now, except the Coven.
Either that, or we just party.
Yeah.
And know it's all gonna end.
I mean, that's Francis' outlook here.
That is.
I mean,
I imagine that Gareth is quite nervous about the Coven. That would probably be ushering us along.
If they undo everything Hargrave House has ever done, that's just job security for us.
That just means we can turn around
and they would also undo our mistakes.
Capitalism. Nobody threw anybody off of a cliff. What are you talking about?
Librarians back alive. Dirty Williams back alive.
Everything's great. Sounds like we want them to do everything. Let's just start from square one.
Toby's back alive. Sally's back alive. Alice back alive. Eleanor's back alive.
It's a Wonderful
Samson's
Life.
back alive.
We do it. It's a Wonderful Life episode where
I also wrote down the graveyard.
See that future.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It might do a lot of good.
It sounds great.
Good morning, you old St. James Place. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
You hear that bell?
That means the Coven got its wings.
Terrible leathery wings.
Leathery wings that will blot out the sun for all eternity.
Yeah.
Then we will party in the shade.
Oh my God, we're so screwed.
let's review the threats that we have, shall we?
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Yeah. So we have Sally. Sally No Face has not been addressed even a little bit. She has 2 ticks.
Okay,
on her
you
clock.
don't have to say it that way.
You did go to the opium den and have a very nice time.
That was the other threat.
I know.
Fair. Never mind.
Sally No Face's questions and opportunities are complexity 4. Where is the killer hiding? And that lets you resolve the threat by infiltrating the killer's lair, then capturing or destroying them. It has a complexity 6, and these are all parallel. How is the killer choosing their victims? And that is resolve the threat by luring the killer to you, then capturing or destroying them. And there's a complexity 8, a question that is, what is the true identity of the killer? And what drove them to this madness? That lets you resolve the threat by empathizing with the killer and then bringing them in peacefully. The hardest one.
Oh, that's what we like doing, though.
I feel like this game is stacked
clues.
against us.
No problem. Yeah, that's.
Why is friendship so difficult?
Our second threat is the Limehouse Lurker. You've already answered the first question.
Yes, we did do that one.
You answered one of the questions. Is the vampire young or old? That was complexity 4, and we decided young. The next question that was unlocked, if it is young, what was the child's home life like before they were turned? That's a complexity
Perfect,
4.
idyllic.
And then you can resolve the threat by luring the vampire into a scene reminiscent of its home life and then destroying it, or making arrangements for it to safely feed on a regular basis.
Yeah, it was like too good, so they got bored and they became a vampire.
I know.
I
have a dark brothel. I'm just saying.
I don't think we actually answered that part of it.
No, I know what we're gonna answer it with.
What the home life was. There were a lot of jokes about being sent to vampire school by your aunt and uncle who don't like you while you lived under the stairs. I don't think that was the actual answer. So maybe we'll revisit that.
I'm like judging that joke and remembering that I made it.
And then the third threat active right now is the Coven. One question, when and where will the final step of the grand ritual take place? Complexity 6, easy peasy. Resolve the threat by stopping the ritual and or destroying the Coven.
I don't see that in our threats tab, so it doesn't exist.
Yeah, what column is the Coven?
It's in the PDF that I have. I haven't transferred it over yet.
Oh, okay.
I was too busy writing in my little book instead of updating our spreadsheet.
Not in the spreadsheet. Doesn't exist.
Because I was like, oh, I don't need to listen to this. It's going to be.
Yeah, I'll get those in there.
Okay.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
The Coven is special in that it is capable of attacking anyone in London remotely via powerful hexes. While the Coven is an active threat, I get a new keeper reaction, Hexcraft, and there's a bunch of bad things they can do to you or anyone.
So good, so awesome.
Suggestion of anything at
all.
So very.
So the last thing that happened was y'all went back to Hargrave and decided the vampire was a baby vampire. There's still some day left. What do we think that baby vampire's home life was like as a child?
I feel like this is such a loaded question.
And this is the thing you can resolve this threat by luring the vampire into a scene reminiscent of the home life.
Oh.
So if you make it idyllic, you're gonna have to make an idyllic home for him.
Oh wait, yeah.
I wonder if it was a kid that was sent to like the workhouses or something earlier.
Well, one of the victims was found at behind the school, I think, the Limehouse School.
Maybe he was a child of a gravedigger.
Oh, the Limehouse School, which was a workhouse. Is a workhouse. So.
Vampirism as metaphor.
Yeah, I could make him one of my little grave diggers.
Yeah, he could have been a child of one of the gravedigger families.
Yeah.
Which also seems like a prime place where a child might get vampired.
True.
Yep. Ventured into the
when he decided to like be a big boy and go off and take care of one of the graves by himself, and
or go to the mausoleum that they had specifically warned him against.
Someone give me this mausoleum key.
Right? We got a
Oh
mausoleum key.
no, I do have that.
It all
Had.
ties together.
Wait, I thought I still have it.
You gave it to Jenny,
Oh, god
Or-
damn, just giving stuff away.
effectively flirting with her.
That could be an interesting. I like where it's going
Don't
because
say
it's,
effectively as if it is such a rare thing.
because it's not like a typical like it was an abusive childhood, but it's not also like it was like it was a good working class family. Wasn't a bad home, and he liked the kid vampire. Like enjoyed going out with dad at night and doing gravedigger stuff.
Yeah.
Child of a gravedigger, right?
Was his dad Dirty William? Because
maybe.
if it's Lloyd, that'd be really sweet.
Fancy Lloyd. Yeah, we'll see how some rolls go and see how bad that
Lloyd, who is
goes.
actually good at his job, therefore despised.
It's more of a hobby for Lloyd. He's
Oh
he's
god.
a little bit too fancy to be full time. I had under wishes for this the session. Wishes. I'm writing down the wishes so I can remember them. Look at different ways to get clues. So we have a broader spectrum of things to do there. Using personal quarters items more and flexing the wingman thing. Figuring out still we haven't done exactly what the mother's love
Oh yeah. we do.
does. Maybe we can figure that out in
I
process.
wrote it. I halfway wrote it.
We want to learn more about the coven, and we want to start with some sort of vulnerable scene or infirmary, so we can start doing some condition work. I think.
Oh yeah,
folks
because
got
we got some issues.
yeah.
I'm retching.
Oh, I forgot. I'm racked with guilt.
Yeah, y'all are messed up.
We've had a day.
What was I racked with guilt over? I don't remember.
Oh no! Now I go to opium dens. What happened? I forgot that I got that. I have to go there
Francis is
regularly.
like, you've made some good choices.
So guilty. I don't remember what I'm guilty about.
Why do I have this punch card?
Let me see.
I forgot what you're guilty about.
Retching.
Oh, I can't
You're a
remember.
regular thief, and you're racked with guilt about. I don't know, what did you do?
I don't
What did you
remember.
do?
Just generalized.
Oh man.
I mean, there's lots of things I could be, but I felt like that was from something very specific. It's not like I have a shortage of things to be guilty about.
Um,
I did in the
Probably got that while you're looking at the bodies or hanging out at the opium.
Yeah, I was
den,
under the
right?
sailor body for some reason, or was it? Did he recognize the sailor's body, and then it was used to be one of his workers?
Oh, I think you're right.
Mm.
Wasn't
And
it
then
somebody
because
who
he
was
let
at,
him go,
he was at the
and he got-
brothel, but I
yeah.
convinced him to go pursue a better life, and then he died.
Oh, soft
You were like,
Jimmy, yeah.
Fly,
yeah, he's-
live
here we
your
go.
life.
you recognize Jimmy not by name, but you realize he used to work at the Crow's Nest, and this throws you quite badly.
Oh,
Oh, poor Jimmy.
soft Jimmy.
Worst gigolo name ever.
Oh no, he seemed to have been doing pretty good for himself.
Very successful.
Yeah.
Talk about a niche.
Cool. So y'all are at Hargrave House. Y'all still have a bit of late afternoon, early evening left before night falls. Any wants to do's?
I mean, there's always the infirmary.
There's
mean,
always the
that-
infirmary.
That can help handle some of the retching, I think.
It can help you. Yeah, and I wonder if, yeah, I mean, that could definitely help the physical stuff.
Yeah, you can, and y'all, you can just do a regular vulnerable scene too, because there's only one. You only have one each to get rid of if you want to. But it's up to you.
Can't remember. Can vulnerable scenes be more than two people, or are they always two people?
The text of the move reads as
Oh, yeah.
follows.
It's probably in the tab here somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, I have not looked at the moves tab. Thank you for
Vulnerable.
being such a good GM.
When you have an intimate moment with another hunter while one of you is engaged in your vice, you may clear an appropriate condition.
That's right.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then doing it in the infirmary just lets us clear an additional physical condition.
Yeah. So we
Oh,
only
okay.
have
So we
one
don't
each
we don't
to
need to
worry
be
about,
there.
so. But you could be if you want to for good reason.
What am I? Let me see what my questions are this round too, because I don't think.
Oh,
I've been
good.
doing them.
And we did answer a question yesterday, I guess, or last time, 11 days ago.
Yes, the vampire one.
Okay, I'll mark that for us.
Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Regular at the opium den is an interesting condition because that could be good or bad.
Do I just get like a Nicorette patch and wean myself off of heroin? I don't know that I don't want to be a regular because I like that lady.
Yeah, that's your call. You don't have to clear a condition. You may.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm not. I think Paloma's not. Is still in denial about that being a problem for her.
Yeah, and that might, that will probably give you disadvantage and stuff where that requires
I
not
can take it or
not being a
leave it.
junkie,
I can kick it anytime.
but also might give you advantage in dealing with stuff with the folks there. So
Yeah, I don't have to feel my feelings just because. Say.
So how do
Dealing with opium.
so we? I mean, I guess obviously we do somehow know about the coven. Because I mean, we know it's a threat to investigate. So
you as players do.
Oh.
Let me see what the.
Well, yeah, would Gareth sense it?
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
That's it.
Nope, that's the werewolf.
Or our newspaper might tell us.
New Coven.
Yeah, new coven in town. Takes up residence near Hargrave House. What?
Could have like a recruitment night pizza book club.
Do you want a witch?
Coven
We
run.
can teach you to witch.
So we had a scene where they arrived. The coven arrived in London. They're here in the guise of a group of fortune tellers and mediums calling itself the Fellowship of Dreamers. But you know the truth. They are very evil, very powerful, and very dangerous. I asked the vessel about the ritual. You don't know where the coven is, but you know where they've been. The homes of several prominent members of society, where they were guests before performing seances and tarot card readings at the homeowners' fetes. And there are 3 addresses. 14 Brompton Road, 8 Basketball Place, and Rutland Gardens. So, yeah, Gareth, how did you know? Did you sense that they were here? Did someone send you a message, politely or otherwise?
Well, I think because you said they're here under the guise of being the blah 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 of dreamers or whatever, right?
Yeah, the Society of Dreamers, Fellowship of Dreamers.
So I think there's been probably like maybe could there have been some like flyers around for the Fellowship of Dreamers?
Oh yeah,
And I'm like,
Or-
Correspondence
no.
courses.
because they are kind of targeting more well-off people, so maybe less flyers and more like society chatter that you've heard,
Right. And I think
or maybe from some of your workers / customers.
And I feel like I've seen this MO before. Like I may not have heard that exact name,
Yeah,
but I know that they like to go in and pretend there's that other organization, and
Yeah.
I think that
You may have-
combined with just
yeah.
my sensitivity in general, my spidey sense tingles, and I'm like, oh no.
you may
They're
have
here.
participated in such a thing in the past. Yeah.
I feel like somebody is
yeah.
going to. I don't know what Paloma and Francis are going to do first, but at some point, they're going to have to come find me because
Oh
I'm,
no.
I'm not around the usual. They haven't seen me this morning or this day yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're like, where's Gareth? Gareth, what's going on with him?
John,
There's
go
a place
find
for locations here, but I guess there's not. London. Oh, locations. There you go. I'll put the names of the 3 places in the locations tab.
Oh, cool. It's a locations tab.
Or in the London tab.
London tab.
Yeah. Sheets are being a little bit pokey for you.
14 Brompton Road.
6, Roscoe County Jr. place. Roscoe Red place.
I wonder if we could get Sean to scout out the locations ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
See, actually, amongst my plans was doing a ritual with Sean because that is his specialty where I actually get to use him as a bonus.
Yay.
Is viewing distant places.
Yeah.
So that is.
Yeah, why do we go anywhere?
When we can do everything from the comfort of home.
Shaunavision.
Shaunavision.
This episode, we do nothing but things that involve Sean.
Yay.
Yeah,
We
everyone
sit at home. We sit at home, and Sean does all the work.
That's right.
Awesome. So you have a couple hours to do stuff. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I could, since my vice is expensive shopping, right?
Yeah.
So we could, Gareth and Francis could go on an absinthe bender, or Francis could take Gareth shopping.
Well, I definitely feel like Gareth is on an absinthe bender. That's where you're going to find him somewhere in the dark corner of a little used room in Hargrave House.
Yeah.
Having an absinthe breakfast.
Oh man.
Because he's racked with guilt.
Oh, could it be in like
Nice.
an unused courtyard, kind of an outdoor thing contained within the house, with but no one goes there, and it's all just broken down statuary and
Nice.
vines have grown over everything. There's just-
Exactly. You got the vibe.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think Francis would come into this scene probably excited about, he's very clearly sick, and then he's like, no, I can explain. We have been to the opium den. No, I can explain. Did we actually get clues about the Limehouse lurker? Oh
yeah. You got 4 of those.
Were we all together to work out that? I guess we were.
Yeah.
Whether the vampire was young or old. Yeah, so maybe he's coming in. He's just very excited at the work that they managed to do at the opium den. Was that with Polly?
I don't think so. I think that was
No,
Paloma.
I think that
No, it
was
was with
Paloma.
Paloma. Okay, yeah. And just how excited he is about having obtained all of the information they needed. And now I'm certain the next step is to determine what kind of history that child had. And we even have some ideas about that. This could be the most successful week Hargrave House has ever had. There are no clouds on the horizon. Everything is tip-top. And then he gets sick again. Sorry about that. And he the course of the retching.
Oh yeah, how was it? Oh, it was from you guys both got yours from the bodies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was both. We both had bad autopsies.
That's
I had
right,
an
yeah.
amazing autopsy.
Yeah, all the entrails came out.
Yeah, it was bad
Yeah.
news.
Oh yeah, there was blood. Yeah, it was bad.
And I think he adds that I admit I still have not quite recovered the collection of insides that came out of one of those of my corpse was simply not the thing. And then more puking a little bit, swallowing it back, making like nothing happened.
Poor Francis.
And I think it's only as the momentum slows on this that he sees Gareth is troubled. And he's you can see him carefully put on the concerned face. It looks like something's going on, Gareth. You can tell me.
Oh, sorry. Have you been talking to me?
I don't think he really even flinches at that.
Is there? Oh, yeah, you all should go. You should investigate things today, but stay away from me. I'm bad news. They're here.
Nonsense.
I've brought them here. I can feel it. I've brought them here. I've endangered us all.
And you can see him doing math of trying. Do I know what them is? I don't think I do. Which them would we be talking about? And there are so many threats out there.
The coven is here. I know it. I felt it before. They're here.
Yes,
They
yes.
follow my darkness. It attracts them like honey to flies.
Yes, the coven.
Yes.
Coven. Yes.
We're in danger. You're all in danger.
Well,
We're all in danger.
whatever kind of monster that might happen to be. I mean, we have dealt with similar beasts before.
Everywhere I go, people get hurt. People die. Soft Jimmy died. That was my fault. So many people have died because of me, and now the coven. Everyone's going to die because of me. Everybody. We're all going to die because of me. You're going to die because of me. And Paulie's going to die because of me. And Paloma's going to die because of me. We're all dead already. Have a drink.
I think, yeah. Francis at this point, carefully refills his glass and pushes it back towards him, pushes it back towards Garrett. He's immediately saying, oh boy, danger does not follow a hunter. A hunter comes towards the danger. And every threat, every great supernatural threat from which any sensible man Jack might run, no matter how stout his heart, is the one that the hunter engages in combat with. No, death surrounds us because it is our business. We protect the realm from it and ensure that the ones out there who haven't signed up with us will die safe in their beds surrounded by old chums and what.
You're right. You're right. Yes, I brought the threat here. I must stop the threat. But we are strong. We're stronger together. We're stronger together. Alone, I stand not a chance. But perhaps the three of us together, we can stop them.
Clinks the glass, tries a sip of the absinthe, and clearly just shudders, and then is like, "That helped." Takes another swig and sort of gestures to have it refilled.
Yes. And now you see the green fairy in the absinthe. Helps you think clearer.
Now, how many arms does the coven have?
It's amorphous.
Face that I can punch.
Not.
How would it handle Queensbury rules?
The coven has had varying numbers of arms and faces. I don't know. They are always trying to strengthen their numbers with more arms and faces, though.
To write notes on, or he starts doing a drawing as he goes.
So I do not know their numbers, but I know they're here trying to strengthen their numbers, and we must stop them quickly.
You would say?
Is it what?
A land creature, you would say, or another fish thing like we've had before? Because we have experience.
I mean, are you asking metaphorically or literally? Because a coven is a bunch of witches.
Oh, he puts aside his drawing, which is a very fanciful, multi-armed.
I mean, I thought you were being very philosophical about it all, but now I see. I think you were literally not. You did not know what the coven was.
Witches.
Yes, it's a coven is a collection of witches.
Oh, like a club?
Very much like an evil club that will kill you in your sleep through your mind.
I've been to some clubs like that.
We must stop them quick, Francis, quickly. The longer we take, the more powerful they grow, the more people fall victim to them. And all those deaths, tick marks on my bedpost, tick marks in my walls.
That's not what tick marks on the bedpost are for.
I've had a lot of absinthe. I mean, well, maybe that's not what your tick marks on the bedpost are for. I, however, have a lot of guilt. And I lay in bed at night thinking of all those who have died because of me that I couldn't save, and I scratch those numbers into my bedpost.
When I go to bed, all I hear is the latest songs from the stage, over and over again.
I had to start over again when I'd scratched so many that the top knob of the bedpost came off.
I I'd been wondering about that. It looked like some small creature had chewed through it.
Yes. Lost track. So I just counted that knob as 100 and started on the next knob with 101. Quickly, we must act. We must. Ah! Sean. Sean can be my eyes. Sean can find the coven.
Oh, where is that delightful little bird?
Oh, he's over at the bird bath there in the courtyard. I put a little absinthe in there as well.
Hello, Sean. He produces a tiny peanut from a pocket. And in what is clearly a practice thing, puts it on the edge of the bird path and backs away.
How is Francis being vulnerable here to help
Oh,
out with
yeah,
the guilt?
you're right.
Yeah. I mean, it's delightful, but
No, I understand.
Mark says, get to the
Very,
point.
very good point.
Oh,
you do what you like.
I'm not your boss. Oh, that's a good question. I think, yeah, there was a moment of it with admitting how put off he was by the bodies and such. I guess I could tilt this towards, yeah, this could be Francis saying, and besides, you handled the autopsy without any physical duress, whereas I, as soon as the merest sight of something untoward with somebody past all care, I've been retching since we got back. Just every
I have noticed. It is hard not to notice.
it is very unmanly and
But you see, Francis, you and I, we're like yin and yang of sorts. You represent the physical manifestation of distress with the retching, while I have a much more insidious mental side of it. My brain has been retching constantly since that, but you can't see it on the rugs.
Yes, my brain keeps humming along with its usual music, but my body.
This is why Hargrave House is so complimentary. We complement each other. We strengthen each other's weaknesses. We prop each other up like tent posts that fit together with some kind of woodworking joint.
Ah, a joist.
Yes, like that. Something like a dove spleen joint or something. We're stronger together. And together. Where's Paloma? We must all be present for the ritual, for we will be like, because 2 posts, that's not very sturdy. But you put a 3rd post in and you have a triangle, and that's sturdier.
Ah, you sound
2
like,
posts, if you put them like this, they will fall over. We need a 3rd.
you would get along. I remember that you
Put
did
your
get
finger next to mine. I only have 2 fingers.
And then
I can't make the triangle.
Paloma puts her finger in.
See? Triangle.
Yeah, right.
Sturdy.
Oh, yes.
Sturdier.
Francis. It sounds like there's been a hard day for all of us.
We're all in danger, Paloma. I was telling of the coven. The coven is here, and Sean's going to help us find them.
Right now he's eating a peanut.
He'll be. He does
First
it better.
things.
He does better work when he's been fed and he's not hungry.
Mark is eating cashews.
All right. I think that clears off retching and Rex.
Thank all of the fucks.
Thank you for getting me back on track with you.
All right. I think we have time for a ritual before nighttime.
Excellent.
What kind of toys do I have in my toy box? All right. I brought everything I could find. I have a glass eye, a 10-gallon cowboy hat, or an empty pram.
The money clip and the crank bar with the permanent fish oil smell.
And remember, for the items, you don't have to physically use
Right.
the item. You can,
Yes, but it is really fun to try.
but it might be fun too. Yeah.
But also keep in mind, you can only there's only such thing as advantage once, right? There's not like double advantage or anything, right?
Yeah.
So I'll already have advantage from Sean.
That's
Oh.
just a move.
Be just for style.
Yeah, so save your items for future needs.
Yeah.
Paloma
If there was
puts the empty baby carriage away. Very
you
gingerly.
can have multiple advantages and disadvantages. So if you had disadvantage and then you add an advantage, that would cancel each other out.
Right.
But you could add another advantage to actually get advantage. So,
But you can't ever go more than.
no.
So you couldn't like use Sean and an item to have 2 advantages.
Roll 5 dice.
Exactly.
No, that's Blades in the Dark. That's not.
Everybody use an item. We'll roll so many dice. What?
Ooh, where are you doing this ritual?
I like this courtyard. It's underused.
Yeah,
I
I
like
haven't
it.
been here. This is nice.
This is where we
Is
all
it-
came together.
Is it
Little
open
bird
to the
bath.
sky?
I feel
Yeah.
like it's open. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
awesome.
But it seems perpetually gray, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's overgrown.
Bloopy.
Like we haven't had anyone come do like yard work or anything here. It's very weedy and
There's not really a place to sit.
no, there's no
Plant-
benches or anything. No.
The plant and forest-based hunter has been long gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
The druid. Yeah.
I think it's just
I
kind of
would-
neglected because it's generally out of sight. it's in the middle of
nobody
Hargrave
has
House.
ownership over it. Like we all have our room.
Neither of us
Library,
are.
the liquor
none
cabinet
of-
is.
Yeah, none of us are really outdoors types.
Yeah.
Cool. What Christian ritual are you perverting here?
That was going to be my next question as well.
Oh, what's an outdoor one?
Yeah.
Passion play.
Yeah.
So we need a
Or-
big trailer.
Or like a revival speech.
Oh, a
God,
chant.
yeah.
Yeah, like a Pentecost. Speaking in tongues.
Hmm.
Okay. I like where you're going because we were just talking about tent poles.
Hmm.
Fits the theme. Go get a sheet. Someone go get a sheet. We'll
And
make
I
a
think-
little sheet tent.
Yeah, I think Francis gets on that and goes and to find some fine bolt of fabric that's not really appropriate for this, but
All right, Sean, have an extra peanut for your on today. But instead of speaking in tongues, in most of these revivals, when they speak in tongues, it's just nonsense. They're just making things up. But however, today we shall speak in dark tongue. Tongued phrases I've learned from the Dark Ones, mostly during sexual escapades. Orgasmic dark tongue.
Only
Is-
it's
is-
a very limited vocabulary of only dirty talk. Got it.
He demonstrates now. So, for example, the beings from Escalon, when they are orgasmic, make this sort of noise.
and Francis kind of tilts his head like, do I recognize
You did go to that party, Francis, at that house. I don't know if you experienced any of
So,
these
yeah, see.
beings.
He details the various orgasmic noises of different dark entities.
Yep.
It's quite an array.
Yes, many of times you wouldn't know they were pleasurable if you didn't know the dark entity.
Talk me through what the ritual looks like.
Well, we've constructed the tent with the sheets and some branches.
Yeah, Paloma's been hammering in the little stakes and getting the poles up.
And because I think bioorganic matter tends to have more power, so I think I've been using a twig in one of the pools of Francis's most recent vomit to like draw the sigils on the sheet of the Revival tent.
Francis's cloth.
Yeah.
Super gross. I love it.
It's clearly hurting him, but he's like, no.
No, this is good, Francis. This way your sickness does not go to waste, but it goes to serve our rituals, and it serves a purpose. You see, so it
don't
was
have-
good that you were retching. It was
don't have
all
to
part of the
watch.
plan, Francis.
You don't have to watch Francis. It's okay.
I find it
Not-
And then Sean has the eyes.
Perhaps
can
it could be
see.
cleaned after this.
And then I think a little extra drop of absinthe in the bird bath gets Sean primed for the ritual. Sean, my friend, we need to find out where the Coven is hiding. We need to find out where their base of operations is so we can take them down. Fly, Sean, fly. Or let us see through Sean's eyes. And I think I've probably Paloma and Francis, like, you know, they're used to his rituals, but they never really know what's exactly going to go on, how it's going to go. So I figure just kind of stand there, and they're a bit surprised when, you know, I just like suddenly like grab each of them by the forehead. Like,
Oh, no.
we must all join and see through Sean.
Paloma has some like very stylized Christian stuff she like tries to do to like, but it's always quite wrong. It's like, oh, okay.
How are you involved with your dark entities into this ritual?
Are they our audience as well?
What offering are you giving them, and how are you hoping that they're gonna help out Sean?
Well, usually at one of these tent revivals, people come forth to be saved. But perverting
I do
that,
feel like I call them because I sort of feel like these witches, it's a lot, not, obviously not all, you know, there's all varieties of dark entities with different goals and purposes, but a lot of them I think are not fans because of witches, because I think of witches do a lot of enslaving of dark entities or controlling of dark entities and making dark entities do their dirty work and things like that. So I'm, you know, trying to rally them as allies of like, help us cleanse London of these dark entity abusing foul witches. Because I mean, generally, this is kind of just funny because what we're always talking about befriending things. I didn't even mean to make this connection, but I do think in general, I try to do things with dark entities.
Yeah.
Like it's usually kind of a tit for
You don't
tat,
have to
like
save them or anything.
you'll get this benefit from this thing and I'll get this benefit from this thing.
the politics of prepositions.
Yeah. So I'm not usually like trying to entrap them, like, aha, now I won't let you go until you do my bidding. That's what the
Hence the-
witches like to do.
Complete knowledge of orgasmic sounds.
Exactly. We pleasure each other, me and the dark entities. We
All
have
right.
dark orgies.
So you're rolling with sensitivity at advantage.
Damn right I am. Sensitivity.
Best you can do.
3d6.
Two dice, top 2 plus 3.
So that's gonna be. How about that? How about
16. Or
no 12,
15.
but max?
15. 12 plus 3. Yeah.
Yeah, which is max, right?
Yep. All right.
I literally maxed out our ritual. Good job, Sean. Told you Sean rocks when he's on a little bit of absinthe and peanut. Like we got Sean like just that sweet zone of drunk.
Lightly buzzed.
Yeah. The perfect sweet spot.
Let me find a good place for them to be. Do the dark entities kind of like fly with Sean, or like inhabit him, or push him along, or guide him?
I feel like there's it's sort of one of those approach from all vectors, since they're all different. There's some that fly along with him, but I feel like as he's flying along, you can also see like a wave of them traveling through the ground or across the ground as well from like different areas. And since they're exploring, trying to figure out where people are, I figure it's not only even, you see them converging kind of in different areas. Like if you look over there, you might see some convergence happening in a general area there, convergence over there as they sort of sweep around. It sort of, sometimes it also looks like, you know, when you see like big flocks of birds that all like move as a, as like a single thing like that. It's very much like that.
Awesome. Ooh, that sounds fun. Let's do this then. Oh yeah, that's cool. Ooh, that'll be fun. Yeah, so all three of you are able to see through Sean's eyes and feel what he feels, and you almost forget your body for a moment because you're so locked in to that there.
I never want to leave.
And he flies up over. I know where Hargrave is now in Belgravia. Flies over. You're very close to Buckingham Palace.
We see the Queen.
Flies up and over. I mean, you will soon enough. It kind of, flies south a little bit, go over the Thames, fly along that for a while, sort of come back a little bit back to the north, and start circling around the Regent's Park, the big park that's kind of like in the north-ish of downtown. And they start just circling around there. There's like a big sort of pond lake in there too, and eventually, like all of the dark entities and Sean sort of up into Sean and lands on a branch. And there's a grove of trees in the park, and there are a bunch of little tents set out, not unlike your own. And it's like a little caravan almost, and you see, that's it's evening is starting, the sun is coming down, and so you can see figures in the in the tree. You're probably not supposed to be camping out in the park, but through Sean's eyes, you can sort of see it's almost like a shimmer to the tents and area around, almost as if they had cast some sort of glamour, some sort of protective illusion, so people don't bother them. And you see a couple figures. One has a bundle of sticks that they're lighting to a fire. They just snap their finger, and a flame jumps from their hand to that. And there's a no, you're over. That's not gonna. Yeah, as the sort of Sean gets a bead on these people, you see at least 4 or 5 of them in view, kind of setting up camp and getting ready for the evening's whatever they're about to do. Nominations. And they are all, even though they're hidden from view by their protective illusion, they're still all in these black cloaks with the hoods pulled pretty closely around their faces. So you can't really make out any faces just yet. But you definitely know where they are, and you can tell that they are preparing something, some sort of they're preparing some sort of ritual. Not everyone has the intimate relationship with dark spirits that you do, and have to rely on
special.
You are special, so they have to rely on more mundane magical means, herbs, charms, and glyphs and rituals and whatnot. They have to work a little bit harder to do what you can do.
Can do naturally.
They do not see Sean or notice him at all. He is.
That's how good Sean is.
Yeah, Sean has decided to alight just outside the range of their glamour, so that he is not sort of within their little domain, but he can still see with his crow eyes everything that's going on. So there's 3-4 little tents set up there, kind of the circular with the drapes like the Robin Hood tents, eventually they just all filter in there, and Sean's like, cool, we know where they are.
Sean out.
And where is that?
John out. That is in Regent's Park.
It's in Regent's Park.
Yeah.
Is that, and that's one of those 3 addresses?
No, that is it's a bit say it's about like like a mile walking north of where Hargrave is. It's the big park where the London Zoo also
Right. So what are
is.
those 3 addresses in the sheet then?
So those are places that they've already been. They've been in town for a little while already.
Gotcha.
Where they've done their tarot readings or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I feel like as you know, when Sean starts coming back, and I feel like we kind of all back into our bodies. And
Ah,
I
I felt
think,
happiness.
I think Francis and Paloma probably got to restrain Gareth. 'Cause I feel like Gareth is immediately like, we know where they are. Let's go kill them, and starts like just take off. Like, we gotta go kill them now. Quick, to that place. That's where they are. We have to go kill the coven right now. Let's go.
Knocking down Francis's nice cloths. And
It falls into the mud.
There's no time to waste. We know where they are. We must go kill the coven.
Sorry, Francis.
Patiently picking up the fabric. He notices a tiny tear. And just,
No time. Coven kill. Go now.
let's see it. I think.
How do we
Yeah.
do? I don't want to. I don't want to be the one to tamp this enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm is great.
And I
Love your
agree.
energy.
I agree. The coven must be stopped, and it sounds like our most imminent threat.
I think Francis is
based
like
on the
on Garrett's side here. He's like,
Yeah, Paloma has been sitting down, and it's still sitting, but is like, I also think it is what we should do next, but I wonder if we're running into it. How do we kill this coven?
Stab them in their faces.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So
I mean, that works
I understand I have been
generally.
a bad example lately in making rash decisions under pressure, and
that
I
just
just
means you have more experience. We're on your territory now, Paloma.
not something I like
Defer to your better
doing.
judgment.
Really, not something I plan. I mean,
But they could move at any moment, and we'll lose them.
all right, yeah.
The first step in stabbing someone in the face is knowing where their face is.
So we're going to take a direct approach. I got it.
I mean, okay, well, you're right. The direct approach with witches.
I
Yes.
have the. I wonder if we might go in disguise.
Oh, because then we can get closer to their faces before we stab them.
If
Where
we,
would those
which,
addresses they visit?
do you
Pretend to be
think
prior customers.
Sean would get in this baby carriage?
Or, okay, never mind. Or maybe we combine the ideas.
And we could dress like a normal family
Francis just blinks while wearing.
stumbling into the park.
I mean, he would, but what does Sean getting into the baby carriage get us?
Oh, it's like having a camera inside a carriage. You can see things we can't. If we were to leave it somewhere, then they came and looked. I heard a baby crying. They look into the carriage and I don't know. I was just being inside Sean's mind opened up some things for me. I began to see the world in a way. Maybe it's the opium still wearing off. You know what? Let's go and we'll make a plan on our way there, Garrett. Let's follow that energy, and I'll just take some books with me. And maybe we'll do some reading
Yes.
while we're on the way.
Grab anything.
I don't have a better idea. I just was worried about going in rashly, which at least now we know we're doing.
Oh, this is a good idea, yes.
Palumba's like
That's a good
walking
idea.
and reading and like
I
keeps
definitely
bumping
feel
into
like
Francis.
this is also a prime time to use my witch's cupboard. Before we leave, I'd rifle through it.
Don't really have a lot of information on covens.
Rifle through it. Let me see what in this list might be good.
Individual witches, yes, but covens they don't really speak.
Aha! This statue of the Green Man. I'll add that to my things. That might come in handy.
Francis is just like happily going along.
Kill some witches.
So now I have a statue of the Green Man as well among my personal quarters items. The Green Man, he hates
Oh,
witches.
you would put that over in the in there, yeah, because you want to use all three of these first, and then you refill it. It looks like. Right?
Wait, do what now?
Cupboard can be used 5 additional times by you or another hunter. Yeah, so that you use the first 3 first, and then when you use some of those, that's when you refill them. It looks like, right?
Was Garrett just
I don't think so
dragging
because
his
I
little
already
wardrobe
used
with him?
I used the first 3
you already
already
used one?
and
Oh, okay,
added
yeah.
those to my thing,
Right.
and then so this would be one of the additional uses now.
Awesome. Cool. So the first one was the first ones were marked off then, right?
Well, I mean, they're still in my. I haven't used them, but I've.
Right.
I mean, I used the quarters to put them in my. I mean, I used the cupboard to put them in my stuff,
Right.
but I haven't.
cool.
But they're still there to be used in the future.
I'm gonna let you do it because you know how it works.
Yeah.
Cool. We want to go through dusk quick, and then we'll take a little break.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because as Sean is going back, the sun has gone down. So looks like Paloma gets to pick her resurrectionist's moves that she wants to do.
Oh, yes, let me see. Well, I definitely want to get a body part. I'm running low on valuables.
Valuables then?
Or do we want a grave robber with us? Oh, good. Yeah, let's do valuables. Let's do valuables and body part. I'll just go with my gut.
Do it. Listen to your guts.
Cool. Cool. That's there. He proposes a paint the scene question. Let's do let's do the gardens since we're there. The gardens in Hargrave House, being in the space is like being totally disconnected from the stink and the grime of London. Is that reassuring to y'all, or does that make you feel more uncomfortable, and why?
I think Paloma's very. Oh, wait, does it have to be the same for all of us? I think Paloma's quite comfy in the grime. It's unnerving. It's unnerving to be in gardens. It reminds her of a rural childhood and time spent with her wife, and it's like.
I think I find it comforting because it's like the internal courtyard. There's something about that feels very safe, feels almost like a fortress, you know, we're surrounded by the Hargrave House and it's literally disconnected from London in a way. So I feel like it feels like our own personal little gardens where we have more power.
Whereas for Francis, I feel like it's the exact opposite. Like being in a giant crowd of rich people in London is where he draws his strength. And so you can imagine him walking kind of awkwardly into the gardens, kind of one of the benches, wiping it with a handkerchief as best he can, sitting.
If there's no one to pay attention to Francis, does Francis exist?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And just kind of looking around with like, what does one do in a place like this?
Yeah, I feel like you're like, I feel like Francis is like, wait, sit on the ground?
Yeah, but
That's
why?
dirty. I have
No
very
woman
fine
that-
breeches.
Birds get in here.
Paloma doesn't like the invitation to be in the present.
Awesome.
There's nothing to do but just be.
And whereas I
places
think like
this.
Francis is always in the present, and this is not a present that he enjoys.
Cool. So the three of you are going to the park for an evening stroll. Is that what I'm hearing?
To kill the witches.
Right.
Which I'm sure
It sounds
that's,
like we're not
I mean,
strolling. We're like
that's what's gonna. It's gonna be that easy. We're gonna go to the park. We're gonna kill the witches.
Yeah.
Coven done.
Easy.
Just
Then
don't
I'll
think that's
go-
how it works.
Don't have
Go
to
the
answer
Winchester
any
until
questions
it
or
all
anything.
blows over.
Exactly.
Stab, 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 stab
Right.
in the face. Got it.
And done. Coven check.
Great. Let's take a little break. And then
Speaking
we'll
of
do
which,
some time.
I'm guessing that threats tab is supposed to be the coven and not the cover.
The cover.
Oh no!
You owe so many licensing fees.
The blanket. Oh, the cover. That's funnier.
We are facing down our most evil threat yet.
Beetle
The
made-
cover.
Freebird.
Go.
Cool. Let's take 5 or so, and
All right.
we'll come back and do some witch hunting.
Sweet.
You can make us take a break, but you can't make us have fun.
You do what you like. Park, 18. Let's see what's different in Regent's Park. Oh, wow.
So I have a hypothetical for you. Let's just say one were to have a pre-packaged microwave meal from Freshly that
Not
has
sponsored.
a use by date of April 20th.
Oh,
How safe?
Totally safe. Totally safe.
what
Is that
might
like
be
a
in-
buy date or a?
I don't.
For
It just says use
expiration?
by. They usually recommend eating them, but within a week of when you get them. And I forgot that I had these two. And
Can you describe
You're
some of the
probably fine.
ingredients of this hypothetical meal?
this one, I mean, it's all
Raw
fresh.
eggs,
This particular
salmon.
one is home style chicken with masterful mac and cheese and some green beans. So yeah, it's
Fine.
chicken breast, green beans, macaroni.
Really, there's only one way to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hypothetically,
Eat it and
That's
see if
fine.
I die.
Yeah.
Okay.
dying probably won't be what happens.
That's true.
You're gonna eat half of it tonight and save the rest for tomorrow in the fridge. And then if you get
Just
somewhat sick tonight,
just have some absinthe on hand that
you
cures
know what you know.
everything as far as I can tell.
All right. Well, at least we've documented why I died if I die.
We know what to hand to the urgent care center.
If next week's The Between is an in memoriam, then we'll know.
It was our fault. We
We'll
told
know it was.
the
We'll know
incident.
that it was that use by date was really serious.
We won't have a cool video for the in memoriam though, because
It'll just be paint studio.
MS Paint.
Yeah.
Oh,
Regent's
cool.
Park.
Okay.
I'm excited about all the
That.
dramaturgy too. I just learned a new style of boxing.
Oh. I just learned that there are
knowledge.
prehistoric petrified tree trunks all over the park. It's like this article is like the park has a prehistoric secret. I'm like, is there a dinosaur in the park? No, okay, it's just petrified wood. Fine.
Not a
Okay.
secret.
But that means it was there in the 1800s. So, oh, Pinterest, go away.
It does
There's a
have a
big-
little fountain. For
There's
Sean
a big
to drink
round
out of.
thing in the middle. I don't know what that is. If anyone in
It's
chat
the giant
is
bird bath for Sean.
from London, that's a really big bird bath.
What is that? Something nursery?
Botanical gardens. Is that the botanical gardens in the middle? I thought
There's a
So
lake in the middle.
I've been to this park. That big.
No, that's not a
There's a
lake.
big like walk along the right side that has like all sorts of like cool trees and plants around it. And there's the zoo at the end of it. But I don't know what this big circular thing is in the middle. I don't think I've been to that part.
Crow bath.
The giant. I mean, it is very big.
Well,
It's a crow bath.
a lot of crows. Popular destination for crows,
It
Regent's
was
Park.
in the live action Cruella de Vil.
It is Jenkins Nursery. All right.
There we go. I could not read that. I could not.
It has
figure
the London Zoo in it.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
Oh,
It's
sorry,
really cool.
I wasn't listening. It seems sorry.
out. Jenkins Nursery. Yep.
Jenkins Nursery.
So now, at some point, we get to meet Jenkins. Is he gonna be in the story now?
Brown Jenkins.
Okay, let's go to nighttime. It's the right
Oh,
Oh, that's a good time to
shit.
go to the park.
And I also have my
coming night.
I have
Yeah.
my new special nighttime power too.
Oh yeah. It's your
Ooh,
nighttime
me too.
power.
A beacon in the dark.
No.
Mother's love.
I have no useful night powers. I don't think.
Sounds like I might have to use it if Gareth keeps storming ahead.
I think on it. So on Mother's Love, I want to talk about this for a second. So when someone you love is in danger and all other means have failed, you may roll with advantage on a vitality roll. On a fail, you take condition berserk. That's cool. Can we say on a success that you take the condition exhausted?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it needed a balance thing.
Yeah.
Success. You take the condition.
Yeah. And I would even say someone or something that you love. Just in
Okay.
case.
Someone.
So you have a little bit broader application.
Yeah,
I love
and
this statue.
and all other means have failed is a little bit loose, but it just means that
Yeah.
we've like
Yeah, you tried
tried.
something, it
Paloma
didn't
doesn't
work.
do this like it's not like the first thing Paloma tries.
Why can't we ever have anything without a bad thing? Why does everything have to come with a bad thing?
And the
Yeah, I
10
wonder if
plus
you-
is a success or a
7 plus is a
7.
success.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do I need to also name what happens 7 to 9 on this move,
Oh,
or
or
do you
maybe
feel like
we
that?
just say, so on a success you take exhausted, on a 10 plus, unless you roll a 10 plus. So 7 to 9
Okay.
exhausted.
Yeah, 7
10
and
plus,
9
it's not. Perfect.
on a 7 to 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 to
So the
10 plus, you're invigorated.
Yeah, and maybe if you want to soften the all other means have failed, maybe it's all other means have failed, or like it's a desperate situation or something like that.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that feels good. I like that. Thoughts?
Situation
Everyone cool
is
with that?
desperate.
And I take it that is Paloma able to take that action if she is already exhausted?
Yeah, probably. She should just be
Okay.
double exhausted. Well,
Yeah, it seems to be
we'll
like a
narratively
shot of
figure it out.
adrenaline that just happens.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know
yeah.
that it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
she's all
exhausted
shot
from the
for
last time I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you
a
might
good
have to roll,
question.
like,
So
with
what would happen?
disadvantage in that case?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, in that theoretical instance, if she's already exhausted and she did
Mm-hmm.
it and got a 7 to 9, what happens?
I would say so. I would say if you're already exhausted, depending on the situation, you would probably be rolling with a disadvantage unless there was some extreme circumstances.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then probably, yeah, you would be passed out, or again, it's depends on
Or
the
exhausted
circumstances.
and berserk if it's
Yeah. Ugh.
Guys, I'm gonna fight you.
I've had a lot of days like that.
Ooh. Have you seen The Northman yet?
I have not, no.
It's fine. It's very it is very well put together.
It's a nice production of Hamlet.
It did not stick with me at all. But there's one part like the berserkers are doing their like ritual to like become wolf bears or whatever, and at some point they go ooh
Ha.
ooh ooh and we're just like, are you fucking kidding
No.
me? You're turning into bunnies. What's
Funny, 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 funny.
Funny warriors.
Funny
It's
warriors.
Will eat all the lettuce.
Gnaw them. Great. So it sounds
That's a
like
classic dark ritual,
Yeah.
the ooh-ah ritual.
Let's
Have you played
see.
Bunny Bunny, Heath? Oh, okay. It's
It's
improv
an improv thing.
thing. Yeah.
And not at all related, except for in name. I also haven't played, was it Fluffy Bunny Tea Party? That game I bought,
Oh,
that I own? Never
Oh
played
yeah,
it.
we should play that sometime.
Yeah.
I bought it.
I have
Hadn't played it.
Mark discovered a game where you have to collaborate on moving furniture passive aggressively. That
Yeah,
sounds
Peter
like
told me
a,
about
a sister game.
Yeah.
Oh, Peter found this one. Yeah, it sounds like a sister
like,
game to
oh.
Bunny Bunny.
I should tell Mark about this, and then I completely forgot about it.
I see everything.
But yeah, it's a game where it is a collaborative game. Everybody is teaming up, but everyone has hidden goals. They're
You
trying to
can't
satisfy.
explicitly say what it is, so you
And
can
while
only be
we're
like,
on this tangent,
oh, that was a great move.
Yeah, the
I
only
wanna-
modification you can do is approving or disapproving of the changes to the house decor
I wa-
that other people in the house make.
I bet
That's
Lindsay would like this as well. An email game where you're not allowed to ask for what you want in the email.
Oh, she would both hate
She
and
would
destroy at that
Fucking
game.
rule that game.
So that's
Like
that
I
just sounds
don't
like
understand
work.
it, but it's how academics talk. Academics talk to each other that way, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks I'm mad in my email because I'm like straightforward and they're a little bit long.
Why are you so
Please
angry?
respond when you have
Why
time.
are you so mad? I need this thing.
Mad, bro.
I'm not mad, I'm just efficient.
Just I just don't know how to do it with subtext.
I just like to go, point. Here's my point. Thank you.
I've gotten, and I don't care if anyone at work sees this, I've gotten 2 messages at work from someone who's like in charge of affiliate marketing or something. I don't even know that that's a thing that we do, because we are just a school. But they've sent me 2 messages. One was like a week ago, and one was this morning. And she's like, "Hey,
So,
like,
you up?
like, how's your morning?
That
Does that
sounds
make
like
you up
somebody
of
signing up for
business
Cat
emails?
Fact.
I don't know you, and if you want to ask me something, you're gonna have to ask a question and set it to your."
I have
if you're-
one.
If you're a marketer, you're doing really bad at your job.
I have one particular acquaintance who is in the film industry. Who we're acquaintances. We're like buds. We don't hang or anything. But like literally every time this person has contacted me, it always starts off exactly like, "Hey, bud." I'm like, "Hey, man." And then it always ends up going to like, "Hey, we're doing this thing. Could use some extras. You want to come be an extra?" Or whatever. I'm like, do we have to go through that whole first part of like, "Hey"?
Skip that whole part.
Yeah, my lab mate does that. He'll send me a Slack message that's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "I know you are not actually interested in my life.
But you are getting answers, Mike.
You're about to ask me a question about Python, and I don't want to help you." And I'm already in that energy, and all you said is hello, and I can't say anything back because I'm gonna be like, "What the? Leave me the fuck alone!"
Can you make an elaborate, tragic
I'm just
story
like,
about
let's
what
just
is
get
up?
straight to the point of you want something from me. Go ahead and elaborate what it is you want from me.
I'm so
And then I
tired
send
because I
them that
spent all
message and
night
they
at the
think I'm mad.
veterinarians, and yeah, sad story.
Instead of doing this little
Uh,
dance. Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
How
I had to learn
much?
not to do that.
Me
I
either.
don't know if anybody
Yeah.
told me explicitly, but it's like, no, greeting, and then this is the thing that I need.
I'm happy to hang out and chat, but if that's not what you're interested in,
Yeah.
don't fuck with me. Hey, we can do some unseens. That's right. That's how we start this.
That's how that works.
That'll
Perched
fail all
in
the time before we get murdered.
rookery. Yeah.
So we all die and have to wear masks.
This is row 31 on the left side, perched in the rookery. On the unseen
Aw,
tab.
what a good
Yeah.
one.
Since we have Sean here, decrepit
Finally.
tenements.
Oh, not that kind of rookery.
No, decrepit tenements lean against one another
Oh.
like drunks. Broken
We're all
windows
just-
covered by rotting boards and old newspapers decrying the moral decline of the city. Alleys cramped, dark, and full of oozing filth. This rookery is publicly despised by the well-heeled of London as they drive the unfortunate into it, and the source of such salacious interest in private. Anyone care to do the first one?
Oh man.
It's just a structural inequality scene.
Yeah,
Really?
I think I'd like to take the first one.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So we see the peelers. They've got a whole squad of peelers coming in after, and at first you just see like 5 people in rags running, booking it down a larger thoroughfare into the rookery. And as that happens, the peelers all just kind of look at each other. Oh God. And the camera kind of follows them into the rookery, and they just scatter. Like one of them disappears down a blind alley. One of them dives into apparently nothing, and then you see it's an open door into a cellar. And then at that point, you see the peelers burst in down the same street, running as fast as they can after the 3 remaining ones that they can see. Let's see. I think, and would they have guns at this point? Probably not, right?
Probably not in London.
They might have
Sticks. Nightsticks.
It's the late 1800s, right? They
Yeah.
have pistols.
I think one of
Not
them
in
has-
London, though.
Why not? Yeah.
They don't, because
Do it.
police in London
Yeah.
don't ever have guns.
Really?
No.
What about the
Yeah, they don't carry
peelers?
guns.
What are peelers exactly?
Sir Robert.
I just tried to
Peel
Google
was
it and
the-
I made a mistake
Yeah.
of not qualifying it.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that the three that haven't disappeared yet all go the same direction, which is we see that they're not the brightest. And one of them trips. No, that's what happens. One of them trips.
Peelers are just cops. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other two are like stopping to help him up, and that gives the peelers enough time to catch up roughly. And yeah, and I think they run a bit further. They're almost making it to like a sort of trellis they can climb up, but they get caught just before then. And I think the peelers are rough with them and laugh. And the implication is that they didn't do anything. They just needed to catch somebody for talking to a well-bred couple improperly. In fact, it could be, yes. Mr. Gladstone will not be talked to by anyone like that, regardless of whose company he is in. And at that point, people kind of pop their heads out the windows of the rookery and start pelting the peelers with like awful rotten vegetables and stuff. And so the peelers make a pretty rapid escape from there. And one of them shouts back at the end, "Oh, we're gonna burn down the lot of you one of these days." And then a tomato or something hits him and he goes.
They're usually
Thank you for all of the comedy in that scene.
They're usually armed with canes.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead. What?
Oh, that was the end of the story. As far as
Nick was saying something about that.
I was just saying that I was reading that description. It was dark, and I really appreciated all of the comedy in that scene. Thank you.
Well, that is based on actual stories of rookeries. Like they all had those like rabbit warren natures, and there were multiple. There was one case where they sent in a squad after some thieves that they were chasing into the rookery, and they had another squad going in after the first squad because they knew that the entire neighborhood would turn on the first group.
Whoa.
Safely. Yeah, the cops were not well liked in the slums. I mean, not that you would expect them to, but it's
unliked these days.
Right. But it's just very. A lot of them in Victorian Britain turned into, this is where the thieves live, and this is where we take care of our own criminal classes.
I'm appreciating the grounded in reality-ness you're bringing. I need to learn more about Victorian London.
Just finished listening to a course. That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, Gladstone was a minister.
He was prime minister for several non-consecutive terms, and he was alive during practically this whole period. He was the one who I talked about who was occasionally trying to rescue.
He was at the opium den. He was at the opium den.
Yep. So I'm just kind of weaving him through this whole.
I only know that because I just wrote him down in my other list. Amazing. Cool. So,
how many playthroughs of this game have multiple William Gladstone cameos? Not enough.
Not enough. Cool. So you are. Where would that be? Oh, there's a Japanese garden in the middle of it.
Oh,
probably not back then.
But,
there is now.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. I'm trying to get a cooler map to look at there. Regent's Park. So you're approaching the park from the south because that's where you're storming in from.
Not by plan, but just by where.
Yeah, I don't think they had a Japanese garden at that point. Cool. So there's a so the lake kind of like scooches around the south and west corner of the park. And I think the cabin is kind of like a lowercase reverse lowercase y shape. So it's like that. And the coven is probably nestled somewhere in the crook of the Y up there. So you can go around the lake by the road or through the big nursery / botanical garden in the big circle in the middle.
So do I punch the witches directly in the face?
I-
Or
I figure Paloma's just following Gareth's like little dust cloud.
As they arrive, I bet Gareth is probably like,
and how many
absinthe may have made me a little hasty.
can I punch all of them before they get a chance to recover? And
But we are here now.
So are you going around by the garden or around like the edge of the park?
I feel like we'd want to go like basically whatever we saw from Sean, like the.
Sean just flew straight over the lake.
Well, I mean, but like we saw the general area.
Yeah.
We'd want to be like the edge of that area, so we're kind of skirting the edge of what we saw as the witchy area.
Yeah, so you can kind of approach it from two directions,
right?
Because it's like in the crook of this lake. So the lake is shaped like this.
Yeah, it is.
You're kind of down here, and then they're kind of like up here. So you can come around the road, or you can come around by the. This is the botanical garden here.
So don't go stampeding straight to the clitoris. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
If you want to swim, you're welcome to.
just heeding John.
I lost the metaphor here.
Just heeding John Cleese's advice for meaning of life.
Oh, gotcha.
How about a little kiss, boy? Don't have to go stampeding straight for the clitoris.
I think Francis is still talking about how excited he is to fight witches.
I mean, honestly, I kind of feel like this is really a good time for my peeking in the dark. Because when I walk the streets of London at night, my consciousness spreading across the city like a vast spider web. I roll with sensitivity. And on a hit, we are immediately confronted by a threat or personified danger to the threat. And I get to ask him questions.
I just need to know which way you're going around so I can judge the tenor of the threats.
Just choose a direction.
Just pick a path.
Otherwise, I'm going to have you swim. That's going to be bad.
What are the two paths we can pick around
you
the
can go
botanical?
along the edge of the park or through the botanical garden.
Ooh, I like the botanical gardens.
And botanical garden it is.
Right. There's nice paths.
Maybe that's
there.
when like Francis started to lead like a little bit just to take us to the garden. Ooh, garden.
Yeah.
And it is a nice spring evening. And there are people strolling.
Nothing bad
you're not alone. It's and there are some gas lights along some of the paths that
This'll
light
be
the
great.
way.
This park is gaslighting us.
No.
Literally.
That's not a path. You can't walk there. It's a path.
Park even
No,
real.
sorry. Yeah.
This is the garden episode. Lots of gardens in it.
Yeah. Francis, you probably passed someone that you like casually know strolling towards you and just like walking past you and acknowledging. Who would that be?
Oh, can it be James McNeil Whistler?
Of course it can.
Who is
Yes.
not happy to see me, but it's just
Yeah.
I will acknowledge your existence.
Whistly.
Not a Willoughby.
Is he with anyone?
Probably Ruskin, the art critic.
Um,
John Ruskin,
yeah.
who is one of the champion. Oh, I'm trying to think if was he a champion of Whistler or was he?
I think either way, Whistler kind of like gives you like an icy-ish stare and just nods in a gentlemanly way, and Ruskin like, "Oh, hello."
Oh yeah.
And as you pass, you see Whistler kind of like lean in and say something to him, and you kind of see him look back at you.
Oh no.
as they pass.
Yeah, Whistler filed a libel suit against Ruskin after Ruskin accused or described one of Whistler's artworks as asking 200 guineas for flinging a pot of paint in the public space.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we'll say that's after this.
All right.
We'll say that's after this.
Yeah,
Happened yet?
Yeah, that was in 1887. So, I'm
Nice.
sorry,
Yeah,
I was
definitely after
distracted
this.
by.
No, that's awesome.
Oh, I
love it.
love it.
I love it.
Weasley.
Yeah, what year is this?
Weasley.
Mastermind. 1870.
Early.
Yes, this is around 1870 now. So.
Yeah, it's 1877 when Ruskin does his first scathing
Cool.
attack at Whistler's exhibits.
So that's
Gareth
got
has a
couple
moment where
years
he's
to
like, I have a feeling in about 18 years, those two won't like each other.
Yeah.
Weird.
less than that even. About 7 years.
But for now, they're
Um,
friends.
But for now, they're friends.
And so you're saying Whistler kind of acknowledges my presence, and Ruskin.
Yeah,
or Ruskin
Whistler
is
gives you like, yeah, Ruskin's like, oh, hey, someone that my friend knows. And then Whistler's just like, that guy's not my fucking friend.
What does he say? Sorry, I didn't make out.
You can't hear him because he kind of like leans into him and
Yeah.
there's something here. And after he does that, Ruskin's just like,
Oh,
all right, okay.
because I had a falling out with Whistler based on the Cremore Garden stuff, right?
Yeah. And he may or may not be part of the cult. Who knows?
I forgot about that.
Oh yes, so much is happening.
They didn't forget about you.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Gareth, as you're kind of walking through the park here, passing the botanical garden, you notice there's some like a little herb garden that has like little labels of like, oh, this is this is historically fun because of this. What kind of herbs or plants are planted in there that are of significance to dabblers in the occult that the normal person passing by them might not recognize?
That's a very good question that I would like to answer if I had any botanical knowledge. Mugwort. And for lucid dreams, it's coming to me. It's
How many more do you need?
Yes, and there's other ones like
I was gonna ask Paloma, but I realized Nicole knows that stuff and Gareth would.
Yes, and oh God, there's one on the tip of my brain that I can't recall though.
What are we trying to come up with here? I would
Like
think
herbs that would be in this garden that would be of interest to those with an occult bent.
Oh, okay.
Tansy.
Tansy.
Yeah, Gareth, what's tansy
Hyssop.
for?
Nightshade.
Hyssop is
Is that a
another
thing?
one.
What about nightshade? Would that be a thing?
Yeah, Nightshade's a
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
Nightshade.
Yeah, totally a thing.
That's Tansy?
Like a little
Hyssop.
yellow poof.
I want to hear what Gareth thinks tansy is for that
Yes.
that we don't know about.
Gareth has knowledge I don't
well.
have.
Well, little known fact about tansy is that it can enhance the sexual pleasure of dark entities.
Well, yeah, of course.
And in general, yes.
Not so much with humans, but take some tansy with human sex and it's just like, meh, whatever. But with
That's
a dark entity, things happen. Gets tingly.
Oh.
We call it the Tenzi Tingle.
Just you and your dark entity friends.
Yeah, those of us in the know are familiar
know.
with the Tenzi Tingle.
It's a tingle.
It's kind of one of those little like secret things where you can go, are you familiar with the Tenzi Tingle? And people will be like, no, what's that? Oh, nothing, never mind. Or else they'll be like, oh yes, very familiar with the Tenzi Tingle.
So as you kind of like take off of the path and head north around the little pond there, Plum, you feel like you see a child sort of running off like into a little wooded area. It doesn't seem to be with any parents or guardians. You just seem like it's where they like looked at you, laughed, and just ran into the gardens. How do you feel about that?
I think Paloma's like always kind of shocked and taken aback when there are children around. Like she had trouble with children before and then had her own and then was like, okay, I liked this one child and then lost that child and is like now strict, like every child is a reminder of that and she still has those layers of like not really knowing what to do around
I
children.
don't
So she's
suppose
like,
don't suppose this child was gnawing on a rabbit or anything.
Not that you saw.
Okay.
but Paloma's curious and like gets shocked and pauses, but Paloma like starts to kind of follow behind the child a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna get into trouble. I haven't gotten into trouble today.
I love it. What are you afraid might happen if you follow the child into the woods?
Only good things.
That it will have my child's face.
Ooh.
It's not real.
Not only that, but it will try to get back inside you.
Great, great.
You can choose not to go after it in the woods at this point. Or
Not
you
a,
can go,
no, there's no turning back at this point.
okay.
I gotta go see what this is all about. You've
let's
never
see.
succeeded to get us to not do something.
Right. It's it's a lame
I'm-
game mechanic. Nobody's
I'm
gonna use that.
required to ask.
Not a fucking coward.
I think this is going to be with composure.
Great. Good.
We're gonna play another game of this whenever this game is done, and we're gonna be the party that always backs down. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I
that's
could
the
be
conservative party.
Do you still choose to go through with it? No, never
No.
mind. Nope, I
Of
forget
course
it.
not. That's
Go
almost
home.
dangerous.
I go back to Harvard.
Oh, why don't we go back home and make a plan?
So that's 2 dice plus 1.
Oh, I have one composure? Oh, excellent.
You have 1.
Sorry,
composure.
my computer's slow, so I was trying to.
Our grave house has never followed
yeah.
through with anything they've set out to do.
I rolled a 7, a squeaked by.
Ace. Squeaky to buy.
Squeaky, squeaky.
Nothing
Nothing bad will happen to me.
Nothing bad will happen here. What were you hoping to see?
I don't know. This was like a thought out thing. I think Paloma was surprised to see a kid here at nighttime, and then was
So
just
near the witch's
curious.
coven.
Yeah, and was like, "Oh, weird. There's a kid. I'll follow behind." There wasn't a lot of thought in there. It was just
Yeah. So I think there's a copse of woods. I've never said that word out loud. I don't think.
A copse
is it
of trees.
cops or copes?
Copse, a bunch of
I have
trees.
no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
There's a bunch of trees surrounding, sort of like there's a log house north of the nursery part there, and the child kind of runs and keeps looking back at you, and is kind of like, and
Is it giggling?
eventually it is giggling like it's playing tag with you a little bit,
Great.
and eventually you're able to catch up to it, and probably did you grab it by the arm or turn it around or?
I think I just like try to get it to like, hey, what
Yeah.
are you doing here?
And it's a small child dressed in just like a little navy coat and short pants. It's hard to tell if it's a boy or a girl. It's just short little Dutch boy cut on hair, and once you turn it around, you can see that it's actually not. It hasn't been laughing. It's been crying. Its eyes
Oh,
are all
no.
red, and it's just full of snot. It's like it just says, "I'm lost." And
Oh,
as you look around, you realize that you are too.
Adventure.
Adventure.
yeah. This is my new buddy, and we're gonna go on adventures.
Is there a
Gareth, did you want to try
Paloma?
that? Reaching out with your
Beacon in the
with your
dark.
Beacon in the dark. Cool. You are rolling with sensitivity.
That I am. Trying to decide if I want to use a thingy. What's it? Thingy. No, you know what? We're gonna chance it. We're gonna just roll straight up.
Still a plus
No
3.
way.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Kabam! Here we go. Blammo! All right. Yeah, there we go.
That's a 10. That's good.
Wow.
Cool. So you are immediately confronted by a threat or personified danger related to the threat. Great. Yeah, I love this. So you've gone off the path and you're heading around the lake, and from the it's not even from trees because it's a relatively open field around this area, and or grass. It's a park.
Have we just seen Paloma run off into the woods?
Did you see her?
I felt like we would because we were all together. I mean,
Yeah. She
Would've
just
been
booked it
hard
for
for
the. She just took off to the woods and left you two alone.
Sorry, I
It is cool.
forgot the plan.
But you are no longer alone. For and there's not even like trees around or anything, but just sort of like out of the shadows, two hooded figures step forward on either side.
No.
Like not like quite flanking you, but like at 2 and 10 kind of in front of you, and one of them says, "You left us. You should keep yourself apart."
I'm sorry, what? I should keep myself apart?
From the coven.
Oh.
And their voices are that kind of like weird, sort of backwards reverb kind of. You should have.
You should not have come to London. Tell me, why don't we just make this real simple and tell me where your lair is? I'm sure you have nothing to fear from little old me.
You already know. That's why you're here, is it not?
Oh, this is the lair. I thought. Oh, that's right. I got confused. No, because I was remembering those 3 addresses and thinking, and I forgot that we'd established that's where they had been.
Where do you lay your witch
Yeah.
eggs and your witch nests?
No, so yeah, I wouldn't have asked that.
But now you know for real. So
that was my that was player confusion, not
That's
Yeah.
not
your
Gareth
one question.
Absenthays. Let me see. What's a useful thing I could do here?
you know what they intend to do.
Kind of. I mean, I didn't know if we needed more specifics. I mean, we know they intend to do a ritual, but I didn't know if that do we need to get more specific than that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what do they need for their ritual or something?
Yeah, because I mean, I was thinking of asking that with that intention of trying to find out what is the ritual they're doing. I know you. Obviously, you have some grand ritual underway. Which ritual is it you hope to achieve?
And they will not answer directly, but rather in the form of a clue.
Yes.
Only passive aggressively.
No, piece of aggressive.
Well, if you were smart enough to understand rituals.
Well, somebody has to clean up London. Somebody has to
Yikes.
remove the impurities.
Oh, God. You wouldn't get it.
You don't understand witchy rituals. We call them witchuals.
Which
This coven is the worst.
that is awful. No wonder you left. It's fucking bad.
We must stop the witchual.
Revenge is why we have all gathered here today.
Revenge.
Forever and ever.
I so want the lead witch now to speak like, "You'll never stop our witchual."
Oh, you think you're going to stop at the witch?
Does she have a speech impediment? No, they literally call them witchuals. That's what they call them. It's not.
What, are you making fun of the way I'm talking?
Marcus had a little tongue blister, and so some days he has to talk like that.
Yeah.
Right, Homestar Runner around me.
That's good. That's good too.
Give it to me. Give me the clue. Give it to me. The cover.
Yes.
He fixed it. It's not the cover anymore.
Oh shit. Yeah. The one on the left
It always
points
lies.
at your what are you wearing?
Look at my picture.
You're wearing that? Great. On You can tell they're pointing directly to the breast pocket of your waistcoat. And they say, you already possess the answer.
Well, isn't it
Aw.
convenient?
And in your pockets
Is it chocolate baby?
a tarot card. And it is, let me get a good picture of this one for you.
Oh man, I'm getting a lot of good shit in my items.
The hunter's getting killed card.
Oh no. It looks really like the three.
That's very
the three of
specific.
cups. The three
Look,
of
it even
swords.
it even looks like
Each of us gets a sword in our heart.
it looks like me. It looks like Francis, and then
I
there's Paloma and Polly. That's
I was
very
thinking about that one, but no, instead it is the copy image address, paste image address. It is the judgment card, which has an angel with a horn above
baby.
a field of open graves with people all coming out
A
of
little
them.
naked baby out of one of them.
right. So your goal is to see everyone's naked ass. Got it.
Why else
I
you
would
join
love to
something?
play the trumpet.
Yeah, right. I've always wanted to be a jazz trumpeter.
I just feel like I'm a little too old to take up a new instrument.
I could never get the damn embouchure.
It's very tricky.
You're
what's
far
your
less
question?
intimidating when you do that. Nothing less intimidating than hooded figures trying to do a trumpet embouchure.
Yep. And then you get tired so quickly.
It's just 1 hour of this streaming.
The
And then
views
Mark
just
goes-
keep going up.
Anyway.
What's your other question?
Oh, I get two. I forgot.
I can I make a suggestion? Out of it?
Absolutely, you can make a suggestion.
What is the coven afraid of?
Yeah, I dig it.
I'll
dig
throw
it.
that out there. You don't have
Make-
to-
All right. I
Tell
have
me.
an answer, but let me see if I can express it in a clue.
Tell me, what is your deepest fear?
That's an
Which
interesting
is
question, and there's a song about it.
All-state band.
I've got
I'm
love.
afraid of all-state band auditions.
I'm afraid of opening my heart again. Oh,
Aw.
the witches were just hurt and best. They just want to be loved.
Kind of emo.
No wonder you left them.
I was the one who broke a lot of the
Oh.
witch hearts. It was.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Unsurprising.
So, the one to the right of you points past you, towards the
Fireplace.
pond lake.
Oh.
That is on your, yeah, that's right side. It's on your left side. And
course.
the mist sort of starts rising up off of the lake, and the water in the lake starts following the mist and just forms into this towering shape, probably like 20-30 feet tall, of what you recognize as the original leader of the company.
Hmm.
Oh, they're trying to bring him or her
And then
back.
as it's yeah, what do they look like?
They look like. They look like.
Hmm.
They look like a muscular woman, very almost like typical. What you would see as a typical illustration of like an Amazonian, that kind of tall, very muscular woman in like a witchy flowy dress, but one that's very stylish and fitted, that you could move in. It's very also functional.
Mhm.
and she's got unnaturally, just a head of unnaturally white hair, like not just gray, like, but like that's not right. It's super
and that's
naturally.
all the mist coming down forming that.
Yeah. And she carries a large knurled staff with an like a coconut-sized eye atop it.
Nice. And as that sort of like last detail comes together, the eye blinks and the figure smashes it down into the water, and the whole figure just plops back into the pond. Surely startling. It's many strollers.
I was about to ask if like if other people seem to see this, or if it just seems to be like I'm the only one seeing this, or do other people around the park seem to be going like, what the?
Yeah, I imagine Francis is just like
Yeah.
a little
How
bit
did they do that?
smacked.
I
And
really
when
should.
you-
I need to teach them how to do that at Grimoire Gardens.
I wonder if it's
For
a
the night
formation
show.
that's like one of those effects where it only kind of makes visual sense viewed
from one.
angle.
Otherwise, it just looks like a big water spout.
That doesn't line up correctly from any other.
Yeah.
Trebloel.
Yeah, Trompe.
Tremblay. Yeah, and then as soon as when you look back from the figure smashing back into the water, the figures are gone.
And that was
Lucky
an answer
for you.
That was an answer to what they were afraid of, right?
What they're afraid of, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Cool. Let's jump to the next unseen.
Unseen.
Nicole or Heath?
0 attempts at Echo in the Night on movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about
I thought
Echoes
about
in
it.
the Night.
But I did think about it, but I haven't done one yet.
Uh,
Did you? I'm sorry. Did you say it was me, Mark?
You or Nicole, whichever feels. Two families share a damp garret. A single room with rainwater leaking in through the rotted shingles. As they huddle together for warmth against the cold night air, what little touches of homeliness do we see that show that they are making the best of this situation?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Go for it. I'll
take
do the next one.
I feel like there's lots of things that are very obviously homemade in a way that like they try to make it personal by when like if a blanket, for example, is just getting too holy to be useful as a blanket anymore, they'll like cut it up and use some twine and make like a little doll out of it and place it somewhere nice. And in fact, in this scene we see them together working on just that, like, and it's something not only makes their home homier, but it's an activity they like to do together. Like they're enjoying it and they're both contributing. And she's like, oh, well, what if we took a little bit of the bristles from the broom that have broken off and we can use that for the hair? He's like, oh, brilliant, darling. And yes, we could use the two burnt pieces of coal from the stove as the two little shoes. And so yes, it's a way for them to bond and pass the time and make little tchotchkes for their home that doesn't cost
Yes.
anything.
Cool. So y'all, or the two of you, what do you do after the figures disappear and Paloma's not there?
We have to find Paloma.
Yeah, I figure we're both going after Paloma.
Cool.
So,
In the woods.
Yeah.
Paloma!
So
Yeah.
Paloma, you and the child are in the woods and it is dark and you are lost.
Should we
what do
get
you do?
Polly to help us search?
I can't find him today.
I know I should have brought Polly out at night.
Oh,
So much more competent. So what are we doing? The kid
What
and
are you
I?
doing? Yeah.
Oh,
Your secret cops with the kid.
yeah. I mean, we've just done an entire episode as buddy cops. But the kid said that they were lost, so Paloma's like,
Yeah. And they're
oh.
bawling and full of snot. Yeah.
how can I? Well, let's find your people. Good God, son.
Cool. What's your strategy? How do you intend on doing that?
Just ask. Does the kid give me any information or?
I was like, I just want to see my daddies again.
Okay, well, just stay with me, and once I stop being lost, we can find your daddy together.
Why were you chasing me?
Just going in the same direction as you. I wasn't chasing. I didn't even
That's
pick
a
up
lie.
speed at all. I don't chase children. I have better things to do with my time.
You chased me into the woods.
You know what? I'll just leave you here. I don't even like you. I just Paloma just like chew on it, just like you don't even seem like a very interesting child. I'm supposed to be killing witches right now. Don't you know I have things to do? And it's like sitting down, like trying to like squatted down, trying to explain to this kid, like if you only knew who I have a doctorate.
Witches? There's witches in the woods? And she just looked like terrified now.
Yeah, I was kind of assuming that you might be an apparition or my dead child.
I don't know what that is.
I'm just envisioning this whole conversation with gestures from a distance in some show about explaining about witches' covens and things.
Well, when so I mean, you know what? Do what you like. I'm gonna go find Gareth and Francis. You can come with me if you like, or stay here and keep crying like a little baby if you want. Just starts walking away, hoping the child.
He just sits down on the ground and starts bawling.
I love how maternal the mother is.
Paloma's a great mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's a unique style. Paloma pretends to start walking away and then it's like
does the improv thing of like walking in places, going anywhere.
Okay. There.
What are you afraid might happen if the child does not stop crying?
That will draw the witches to us.
Ooh.
Or a wild wolf.
Ooh.
Or worse.
The witches arrive in the form of wild wolves.
Wild wolves.
Wild wolf witches.
Witches.
Wild wolf.
Wild wolf witches.
I'm afraid that this kid will stay with me forever and I will have to learn to change as a human being.
Which one are we going with? So I can make it worse.
Wolves.
Wolves.
Witches. Witches seems
witches.
like what I'm actually afraid of. I'm like, oh no, shh. I don't. Stop. What? Stop that. Stop the cry. And then like, I wonder if I have some candy or something.
Yeah.
Princess always has sweets about.
Not only will it attract the attention of the witches, but they don't even need to be there to do anything about it. They will be hexing you.
They got that whole hexcraft going on.
Cool.
Feels like it should be an app for generating maps for
yeah, right. Hexcraft. That's what Mark will be programming later on tonight after this stream.
This sounds like.
Undoubtedly.
Do you think this is composure or presence?
Or reason?
No.
I could logic with this child.
Poor Paloma never gets the reason.
I mean, I want it to be composure because I have a little bit more, but it seems like it might actually be presence of like Paloma also needs to calm down and not be so like actually needs to like be maternal, which is not natural for her.
Cool. So that's like 2 dice straight up.
Does this kid like 10-gallon cowboy hats or glasses?
Who's a cowboy? You're a brave cowboy.
Look at my I came out. Oh no. Do you want to go grave digging with us later? You better shut the fuck up if you want to.
I love Paloma with children so much.
Just wait till I get my kid.
Oh boy.
I rolled a 6. Do I need to just go ahead and put a math on? Or...
Mask time.
Put a mask on yourself first before
It's
putting
been
a
a long
mask on
time. It's been a
the
long time
child
since
that's-
anybody put a mask on.
I've never had a mask, so this will
Oh.
be my first.
They're very comfortable.
Or maybe this is how Paloma
Oh.
dies.
I think
It makes
everyone will be wearing
sense.
them soon enough.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Very appropriate way to die.
Ooh, yeah. This is.
I died
great.
doing what I loved, being a mother.
Being a no nonsense mother.
Shut the fuck up.
the child like puts its arms around you and is like bawling into you, and I push it back like that. You realize that when you push it back, it has its hands on your upper arms in an
No.
iron grip,
No.
and
like that.
now it is laughing,
Oh,
and it just says, hunters are so soft these days, and the skin around where it's grabbing you begins to crack and bleed. It's like alligator dry skin. You can feel all the moisture coming out of your body, and it just spreads, and your skin is just all cracked and dry.
Fine,
and
I
it
can
will
get over
Is
this.
this
It's
child-
be in a husk.
Is this child
need
the
some
salt
lotion.
vampire from Star Trek?
fine. I can just put some
We're
lotion
just
on.
the
and
child
move
vampire
on
that
with my
we've been
day.
hunting in the other context.
Vampire
this is
child, what are you doing here?
This is a witch. The child is actually one of the witches.
God damn it.
Do you want to roll with that, or do you want to put a mask on?
There's got to be some OSHA requirements, some child
Gee.
labor requirements.
I didn't die. I'm just like dry.
Yeah, it's your skin is all cracked and dried. It's spreading everywhere. You feel the moisture being just pulled out of your body.
Are witches like cops? It's like, you gotta tell me if you're a cop if I ask you.
Yeah, tell me if you're a witch.
You gotta tell me if I'm a witch if I ask.
You gotta tell me if you're a witch.
Which rules?
Uh,
Which constitution?
Can I treat my own physical injuries with my field medicine? Or is it only for
Yes,
other people?
But I don't think this will be able to be cured with medicine.
Okay.
Not from.
Because it's witchy.
I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, as a player, is this, like, I rolled a 6. Is this serious? Like, am I dying? Or
It's serious. You're not dead yet.
yeah,
you're
but I
in-
probably
you're in bad shape, and if you allow this situation to continue, it'll probably not wind up great for you. You could try to break away, run away, do something, and keep the condition, or you could put on a mask and we could do something else.
just for story, because I think it is interesting that Paloma ran off and there's consequences to that. I'm gonna try to be like, like shove the kid off, and then like
Nice.
get the hell out of there. Be like, find your own parents. Not your, and just yells, "I'm not your mother!" Runs away.
Man.
This is going to be a vitality roll, and it's going to be a
Okay.
disadvantage.
Yes, I don't have a mother's
Um,
love yet. This is the
don't
opposite
roll
of a
yet.
mother's love.
Gareth and Francis, what do you do after the apparition from the lake goes away?
Well, like we said, we were gonna
Okay.
go in the direction that we saw Paloma
run
leave
off through?
by, I think. So we're running into the woods, or at least Francis is running into the woods. I don't know what
Good, good.
to speak for both of you.
Yeah, the little stand of trees is actually not that big. Like you can see out the other side from when you go into it, and if Paloma is in there, she's intentionally hiding.
She's intentionally hiding.
If she was in there, you can't.
Oh.
You can like, it's not a thick, dense growth of trees. It's like, oh, there's some trees around here.
Oh, okay,
Um,
yeah.
So you can like see the gas lights on one of the paths through the trees. And if she was in there and you didn't see her, she would be hiding.
Oh, so I don't
Does
see
it
her.
want to be
You
found?
don't see her, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a situation when we should call in the peelers in the park to help? Or is that ever a good
It
idea?
only causes more problems.
I mean, you can just blow a whistle.
Yeah, I think Francis just has a whistle on him and he blows it at top volume.
No.
Oh boy.
Well, there's
Oh. Now
my
you've
echo
got
in the
two
night.
problems. Now you've got two problems. Oh, that
Echoes
was
in the
good.
night.
And both you and Francis experienced that. That's great.
Fuck.
What?
Stay with the group.
Boy. What are you afraid might happen when the cops show up?
So many things.
Is it
The
me or him,
cops-
or is it?
It's Francis doing it, right?
Oh,
yeah, sorry, he blew the whistle. Yeah, yeah.
I assume that the cops. I think the bad thing. Oh God, the bad thing is that they recognize me for some other transgression that has happened
Of course.
throughout our adventures so far. I don't know what exactly. And so they start giving me trouble instead of looking for Paloma.
Mm-hmm. I think
But
even worse, the cops are going to give you trouble, and not only because they saw you associated with something else, but also because they are in thrall to the coven.
Excellent. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Cool. Now is the time to back down if you would like to. I'm guessing not.
Never.
Yeah, never mind. Don't blow a whistle.
Gosh, what would this be? Calling the cops. Presence. Yeah, it's a presence roll.
I can make a case for presence.
Yeah, it's definitely presence.
I'm a law-abiding citizen trying to make sure that my friend is okay. Look at how high class I am.
Very high. The highest
Do
of
you
class.
see my pants?
There is none class higher.
Okay.
2 dice plus 3. Unless you want to do something else with it.
13.
Yeah, buddy.
13. Amazing.
Nailed it.
So good at calling the cops.
Yeah. So
Toot toot.
Fortunately, 12 plus gets extra benefit. Great. Fortunately, there is a beat cop nearby, and your whistle sounds exactly like a police whistle, and he comes running, and it's like, what's...
I want to imagine it came in a set with the fake badge.
You show him your badge.
Yeah, he runs up. And he's like, "What's the Mr. Quinn? How can we help you?"
Oh, are they part of my cult, or are they just recognize?
Oh no, they're just fans.
They're just
and,
fans.
and it's just one cop right now, but
They're
Sorry,
the
it's
entry
just the one
level.
cop right now.
Oh, okay.
But he recognizes you. He's like, "What can I do?"
Just a single peeler.
And I think, Francis explains as succinctly as he can. Our dear friend, a lady, went off into the woods alone, and we can't find her anywhere. We think she might be in some danger. There are dangerous people about in these woods.
They will do that. He pulls out a bigger whistle. And it's like a train whistle. It's like, your whistle works. It sounds like a whistle. And within like a minute or two, a half dozen bobbies come, swarm in our position, and
they all have even bigger whistles.
This is Mr. Quinn, an important man, and a friend of his has gone missing in those trees. Spread out, and they spread out and go searching for Paloma.
And while we're doing echoes in the night, Paloma jumps down a rabbit warren and hides
and finds a small doll put together with.
Actually, Nicole, let's do the next perch in the rookery one. In a lean-to, slumped in a reeking alley, a small group of pickpocket urchins divvy up their spoils to buy food. What objects of frivolous wealth have they managed to lift?
So we come upon an alley with stagnant pools of water and cobblestones, uneven and missing in places. These urchins are saying, "Hey, what did you get?" And so one of them pulls out one of the little clocks with a lady beside it. I don't know if this is even in
Oh,
the right
for
time.
me a clock with a lady.
It's like, what am I gonna do with that? I don't know. It was some fancy thing they had. And then another one pulled out a hat pen. It's like, well, that might be useful. Looks like a little tiny sword. And they're like, no, it's for hats. You got a hat, Gerald.
What ridiculous thing is on the end of the pin?
And on the end of the pen
Of
is
the head of the pin.
a tiny hat on the tip of the pen. A
Nice.
fancy hat on the
A little
tip of the
hat
hat
pin
pen.
with a fancy hat on it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then
Um,
that one.
that one has-
It has a
they're
little hat
like-
pin with a hat in it.
Yeah.
we can't use these anywhere. I don't know how to tell time, and you've got no hats.
And there's no ladies allowed.
And there's no ladies allowed.
You know the rules. No time and no hats.
Rule one.
There's no hats in the alleyway.
We're also damaged by musical improv. Cool. Let's go back to you making your
Was that
roll. How
enough?
about that?
Sorry.
That's plenty.
Kind of
That's
got
great.
off the rails.
I love it. So you were rolling with
Oh yeah, to get the fuck away from this kid.
vitality to get the fuck away from the kid.
And I have 0 vitality.
0 vitality.
Yeah.
Although, do you feel like this is a desperate situation?
Ooh.
Oh, have I tried other things?
I mean, if the situation is desperate,
Yeah, that was the amendation. To the rules.
a child which is draining the moisture from your body in the middle of the woods in which you are.
Yeah, I feel like it's like probably adrenaline time. I feel like
Okay.
any time where like adrenaline comes into play versus
Activate
like
a mother's
Paloma,
love.
Paloma can't like plan to have a mother's love. But
Yeah.
it can happen. Okay, yeah, I'll do a mother's
Cool.
love.
Yeah, roll with advantage.
This is so ironic to be doing it right now.
To get away from a child.
Fuck away from
So
the kid.
3 dice, take the top 2.
Get the fuck away from
Oh,
That's
Right.
8. Cool. So you do the thing.
So I'm exhausted.
What does it look like? So you're gonna come out of this with 2 conditions. You're oh wow. So oh shit, yeah. So you like break away from a child like that, or tell me what it looks like.
They're hugging me.
They have your upper arms in an iron grip.
And I think I like, did your mother tell you to ask before touching strangers? And just like try to shove away the kid.
Cool. I think when you do that, the child's, you like bust through the child's arms as if they're kind of like made of burnt paper. They sort of fall away. And the child just standing there with no arms, smiling at you. And like
Lovely.
kind of moves its shoulder towards you.
I feel like
as
I'm being
if-
punished for being curious.
It moves its shoulder towards you as if it was pointing and said, "This is what you have to look forward to." And the rest of it just kind of like turns into gray paper and collapses.
Someone got Thanos.
So you have exhausted, and you're also gonna have. I'm gonna give you the condition, husk.
Okay.
So your arms are like the skin on your arms and chest and torso. Like the skin is like dry and cracked and bleeding, and your arms are like almost withered a little bit from having
Maybe
the moisture
Gareth
pulled
has.
out.
I bet Gareth has something for this.
Yeah. So your other condition is going to be husk.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I'm just running out of the. I'm like just
Well,
running.
So when you do that, and when the child disappears, you feel a strong hand on your shoulder, and a voice that says, "I found her."
And I just like shove the hand away. Don't touch me.
I think you actually knock him on his ass in the woods.
Oh, no.
And you see six men with canes approach from all different directions. Saying, we got her.
Oh, no.
I didn't do anything. You'll never catch me alive. Starts running.
Copper!
Since you are exhausted, I think it's gonna be pretty easy for one of them
But
to
then
sort
I
of
fall.
tackle hug you.
Just like Casey's delivery service faith plant into the.
Like everything's okay, ma'am. Just stop. Feels like an old alligator.
She's very husky.
Francis and Gareth, you see that
Gareth, Francis.
one of the policemen has in a bear hug Paloma, where you're pretty sure like there was nothing before. She just kind of like
Whoa.
they found
Witchery.
her.
Yeah, I
Just a-
think Francis just looks straight to Gareth. Was she not there and then there kind of in a
Witchery, Francis.
Oh,
I think I
Witchery.
got one of your witches, Gareth.
See, I told you, witchery.
And the cop that you originally summoned said, "Well, the boys have found her. She looks bad."
A little
Have you left-
drier than usual.
oh,
Have
we
you
do
left
what
her
we
out in
can.
the sun?
Paloma, what has happened? Do we need to get you to the infirmary?
Is there anything else we can do, sir?
I think actually Francis is now arguing on behalf of Paloma's sentence. I'll have you know that this is a distinct vision of how to present oneself, and if you cannot deal with that, the flaw lies with you, sir.
I
then-
don't mean to be rude, sir, but look at
turn to
her.
the-
Look at her arms.
I turned to the cop who first said, "Oh, Mister," and what was your name, officer?
Officer Perkins.
You're about to get
Perkins-
reported.
Perkins, your men should treat a lady with more deference. Now, did
you
you
should-
have?
Just
You should find
pieces of
medical-
my skin are like
yeah.
falling off.
Like,
Oh,
you
God.
should find medical attention for this young woman. It seems as if she'd been left out in the desert for a week.
Of course.
I was.
But I will not hear a word said about how she looks bad.
Of course, sir. She looks as if she has been injured gravely.
Excellent.
Is there some
Strangely
kind of
enlightened.
move I could do to see if amongst those herbs we saw growing, if there's anything I think might help her present arm predicament?
Not the tingly
Oh.
one, Gareth. Not the one again.
No Tenzi.
No Tenzi Tingle?
We're not Tenziing again after last time.
The Tenzi
I was
Tingle?
numb for weeks. Doesn't work on humans the same way I told you. Just makes you numb everywhere.
I think that's going to be a reason roll.
Of course it
Do a
is.
thing down there for
Um,
about a month.
What is the worst that can happen? With
yeah.
this?
What could go wrong if you
Well,
don't
I
find
mean,
it or
I'm
you
not,
find the wrong thing?
I know my herbs, but if I get the wrong thing, it could worsen her arm
Make
situation.
my arms fall off.
Yeah.
Like taking a 2nd-degree burn to a 3rd-degree burn kind of situation.
I think not only that, but it also makes it contagious
Oh shit!
magically. So anyone who comes in contact with her will also take that condition.
Oh bloody! hell.
Pandemic.
Start husking out.
Husk smash.
Ah, scout.
Um, We still into this?
Ah, but you know what I can do?
Aha!
I can apply said herbs with my magical glittery powder puff.
Ooh.
Gareth, the
I
powder
think-
puff.
I don't think that'll help you find the herbs.
No,
You
not
need-
fine. I was thinking more of the application process.
Yeah, I think we're looking for finding the herbs
Ah.
Night herbs.
or recognizing them.
Right. Well, but then I mean, the contagion portion wouldn't happen until I applied it.
So we're taking a
True.
break to go foraging right now. Is what I'm hearing.
There's
Well, it's
a sign.
quicker than getting. They're right here in the vicinity, so
Yeah.
We are in
I
a
figure
garden.
it's faster than trying to get you to the infirmary or something.
Yeah,
So-
go for it.
Let's do
Okay.
advantage. So it's gonna be 3 dice, top 2, +2.
Okay, so 3 dice top 2 is going to be a 6 and a 3 plus 2 is an 11.
That's an 11. All right. Oh, and there's a 2 right there. 11.
Yeah, that
Great.
happened.
Yeah, what's a herb? Magic herb.
Aloe vera.
I mean, maybe.
Seems the most appropriate, really.
It's good for
Unlikely to be
everything.
found in the garden here. Magic herb dryer. No.
At least it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
poison oak.
That's you know what? That's you do remember
Echinacea.
that mugwort Artemisia is also good for treating dry skin.
Supernaturally dry skin.
Yeah. So you're able to run off and pick a bunch of that. Francis, are you just seeing off the officers?
I think he's just
Giving them more lectures.
by like Perkins is probably telling the other officers like stories about how cool Francis is. And so instead of chastising everyone, he's like, "Oh, new friends."
I think
doing nothing useful except getting contacts among the police force.
Cool. Let's do the last paint the scene, and I think that's back to
Francisco.
Describe someone we see making their way back to their home through the cramped alleys and the desperation that has led them there.
Okay. I think let's see, what kind of person do we see? I think it's an old lady making her way with a cane. And you can tell that she can't see very well, but she occasionally feels the walls that she passes, and that's her level of familiarity with it. And then the desperation, you just see that her clothes are ragged and she needs various kinds of medical help. Like her eyes, largely sightless, are kind of roomy and runny. And she's occasionally talking to a gentleman that isn't there. There's kind of like a running monologue as she turns confidently down, but slowly down smaller and smaller alleys. And then just says, "I'll take a little break for a bit." And next to a door, she takes a seat and just kind of rests in place and takes a few deep breaths.
Nice. Cool. Last bit of night. Francis, tell me what you do to apply, or Gareth, tell me what you do to apply the
Francis will jump in on this.
compact, or whatever it is, compress.
The first thing is, I think it'll work this way because it seemed to work this way with Francis. First, I'll help Paloma with an echo in the night. Like, why don't you take a break and sit down for a bit while I apply this
Thank
poultice.
you for that. Thank you for the backwards echo. I appreciate it.
I think she could have also said the roomy eyes, echo the kids' eyes. So everyone's got their echoes.
I've made a special poultice for you. It should theoretically feel very good on those supernaturally dry arms.
Yeah, and Paloma, this is like feeling very bad. It's just like dry fire on your arms and across your chest. Do you maybe need to like take her to the edge of the pond to get enough like moisture into the?
It's quite a good idea to help. Yeah, because that way I can like have it, and if it needs a little more water, I can get a little more water in there and whip it up.
Yeah.
Keep it just the right consistency.
Cool. So so this is going to be the actual application of it. What do you think is going to happen if it doesn't work now?
Well, it's interesting because the thing we thought of before was really more for this.
Yeah. Well, that could also been like you found the wrong thing and.
Right.
But we could still go with the same sort of. We could use the same consequences if we want for the application, but since this is a more magical kind of operation,
well, I definitely think it would be. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it would be harmful to us both because I'm applying it. So like it would not only make her wounds worse, but it would spread to my hands as well.
Or maybe it would draw the moisture out of you as it heals her.
Good with me.
That's fun. Cool. This is going to be with sensitivity.
So wait, did we? I can't remember. I'm confused. Did we use my powder puff on? We did on the last one. Is what we used it on.
Yeah.
It really would have been on the application, but either way, it doesn't matter. Got an advantage on that.
You should use the tentacle suction cup.
Tentacle.
Well, I do also.
Pew, pew, pew.
Or you could just go
Think
with
about
the
it.
3.
Thinking about it. Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to embrace the thing that I think it was Paloma said of embracing using your shit and not being stingy with it. So
Cool.
yeah, I do think I think the tentacle suction cup will help because it was magical. It was Fishman. I'm like, oh, this could be just the
Yeah.
missing ingredient we need for this poultice to spread it on with. It's a perfect little cup. This is
Cool.
brilliant.
That's again roll with advantage. 3 dice, top 2 plus 3.
First roll. So 3 and 5 is 8, 9, 10, 11.
12, 4 and 5.
Oh, 4 and 5. Yeah,
Top
I math well.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. What does it look like when it sort of rejuvenates your skin, and how does it feel, Paloma?
I feel like once we've whipped it together, it kind of just looks like, it's a pleasant looking paste. Like you don't look at it and go, yeah, don't put that on me. I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice looking. Like it'd be soothing. But then I feel like once you kind of scoop it up in the suction cup, it really takes on a certain sheen. It's like, oh, that's very nice. Like
Early sort of thing.
yes, I want that on my skin. And then I feel like as you spread, like you start spreading it on, and immediately, like you see it without even spreading, it kind of starts whoop, seeping in everywhere that's really dry. And
Or maybe you can
seeping-
actually like see like how
Like I wonder if
how-
it looks
how to
like
look
like
if that's-
Alex Mack, silvery.
like almost like it's drawing the moisture out of the air.
yeah, and put
There's
it
almost
back in
like
the
a-
skin.
Almost like a frost coming off of it, like because it's being
Yeah,
Oh,
very
like
yeah,
dew-
injected into her.
for sure.
Dewy for real.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
like a nice cool mist coming off her skin as it rejuvenates.
Yeah.
Or like all the
and-
mist coming off of the lake.
Yeah, just sort of- Yeah,
Yeah,
and for a
just
minute
like-
you think she kind of looks like the old witch lady, but the Amazon.
Ah! Oh no, it's you.
Yeah, and
Ah,
since we got a 12 here, I think that not only takes care of the stuff of it, but I think it also clears the condition. So super good. Good witching.
Super witchy.
Enjoy my poultice.
um
So that takes away her husk.
that takes away her husk. Yeah.
Still
Oh,
exhausted.
good.
And
Still
still a
exhausted.
regular at the opium pen.
And so I think this takes, all of this rigmarole, we're getting pulled away and messing with the police and everyone. It's taken a little while, and you eventually make your way up to where Sean saw the camp, and you can tell there's a magical aura around it.
Oh yeah.
But when you sort of step through the membrane, there's disturbed ground in circles. There's a campfire that has been put out, not just burned out, but there's no sign of any of the coven there because they have taken the opportunity and the distractions they have
Fucking jerks.
provided to, like, they I guess they saw you coming, so in such
Ran.
rashness, and then sent out some folks to distract you while they packed up and booked it.
Well, an abandoned
But you're on their
witches,
scents. Yeah.
an abandoned witches camp seems like a great place to look for clues, if you ask
Dude,
me.
moves that are invisible.
Ooh.
To hang out.
Have a party. Kegger.
That's Francis'
Yeah.
completion to the sentence.
Who wants to look for the clues, and how are you
Oh
doing?
yeah. Francis, do you need to do an elaborate erotic experience?
Is this?
Oh.
I was gonna say I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like a very reason kind of thing to do, looking for clues.
I would also argue that you could totally use sensitivity for it too. Since
It's true. It's true.
But whichever way you want to go.
Francis is
That's
not first in line on either.
Francis tries to charm clues out of
Hello,
the tents.
campfire. How are you doing this evening?
Hello,
Poor
would any,
Anything you'd
Francis.
like to tell me?
would any clues like to find me and perhaps reside in my pocket?
Yeah, how's it gonna go down?
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, maybe Paloma could do some like forensic type things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I feel like I'm probably kind of very tired on the sensitivity front. I've done a lot of sensitivitying
Yeah,
tonight.
you're a little bit whooped.
Yeah, I'm probably a little
Yeah.
like, whew. Oh, so much.
Paloma is physically exhausted, but her brain.
Yeah.
Sharp, ready to go.
I guess the anxiety has died down because it's helpful. Actually.
Hello,
Francis
Mother.
is just talking about the interesting policeman that he met. He's
Yeah.
not much.
Paloma would know where to look for incriminating evidence in this abandoned witch's camp.
Awesome.
Well,
We'll go ahead
love
and roll with reason. 2 dice plus 2.
If they left in such a hurry, then
Okay.
I'm sure there's going to be signs around. that
And
will
this is
tell
an
us
information move.
about where they're
Yes.
going next. So I roll
I didn't
plus
know we could do those at night.
2.
Oh yeah, you can do them anytime. Whenever
Cool.
you search for a clue, conduct research, or otherwise gather information.
I should remember that, but I keep forgetting.
I'm sure it will
Time.
flip from my brain as well.
I was trying to figure if there's any way to use any of your items.
Oh yeah, good point.
I don't know. Unless your glass eye is somehow magical.
Yeah, I
It
keep
looks for
wanting that
clues?
glass eye to be magical.
Yeah. In which case, we'd do a sensitivity roll.
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah, okay, never mind, never mind. I would look around with
What-
my plus 2.
What's better, +2 of the regular or advantage with +2? I don't know.
Let's just roll.
Um, cool.
Well, maybe if she holds the
11.
glass eye up to her own eye, it acts like a magnifying glass. You ever think about that?
It's just dark.
I've lost my depth perception for some reason. I rolled an 11. Give me my clue.
Awesome.
Gimme, 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 gimme.
Oh, perfect. Here we go. As I think everyone's poking around, to whatever effect they are, and Paloma, you're probably being exhausted. I get the impression you just kind of like plop down in the middle of camp and kind of watch the other two digging around for stuff.
But Paloma's
Um,
arms feel really good.
Yeah, the fewer
Oh, good.
she's like, oh man.
Moisturized.
And as you're looking around, you notice that there's like 3 logs by the campfire. There's 3 tents.
There are 4
There's-
logs.
There's just like a bunch of things at the campground are arranged in groups of 3s.
Mhm.
And we are arranged perfectly with the symmetry.
Yes. And there's 3
It's
of you.
perfect
Dun,
for
dun,
us.
dun.
Maybe
and that's
we're
your
the
clue.
witches.
That's your clue.
That there are 3.
One bed is
things-
too hard. One bed is too soft.
Objects in a place where the coven has been are arranged in 3s.
Like numbers.
Like
Francis, would you like any of this leftover salve? It's wonderful for the skin.
Oh, of course.
Although your skin is already
Um,
glowing.
Oh yeah, I think that's Francis. It's like, no, it needs to go to someone more deserving.
No, that's just the breaking dawn.
Oh no.
And the sun comes up as you're poking around in the park, birds tweeting and whatnot. And we're at dawn. Boom.
Well, that was a productive evening.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm sure it hasn't
Was
brought
it?
all sorts of counters closer
See,
to
charging into the witches worked
I-
well.
which is dead.
really don't feel that way. Maybe with
let's
time I will
see.
understand your ways.
You'll just need some
Let's-
sleep.
I probably need a lot of sleep.
Pull them also.
Oh, there's a coven mask to take eventually.
Ooh.
Cool. Everyone gets their dawn questions answered there.
Dun, dun, dun.
Looks like we
So
have
close.
a Paloma advance.
Nice.
Everyone, mark your XP there.
Yep, I only one away
Got
from advance.
Everything but the ornate over the top like experience.
I didn't resolve that, so
Yeah.
I got 3. So I need 2 more, and then I can get one of my last available things. I really need to start marking boxes on the reflection so I can uncheck them.
And Paloma, you can choose in advance now, or you can think about it. No rush.
Yeah, sure.
Playbook or custom moves that are great. So, let's see. Let's do the items first. Paloma, ask another hunter what I think this is Lloyd comes by with
Aw,
something fancy
Lloyd.
for you.
Yay.
You can ask one of the other hunters what Lloyd brought for you.
What did Lloyd bring me?
Oh man. We last saw him disposing of the body, right?
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, making sure of something.
Making
sure the body
was
Yeah.
gone.
He's got a fancy tall top hat with a nice blue ribbon around it.
Just like too
Oh,
fancy.
Yeah, wait, and he's all like looks like he knocked over a chimney sweep and then went to the dry cleaners.
So could it be he brought something back, one last thing associated with St. James Place?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No.
Okay, so we
Or
brought
not.
the ghost back into her own body. Is that what we ended up doing? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she reformed her body with
Her
the
body.
vase full of blood.
I want to
Oh.
say that when he went to check on the body, he found
Go on.
a locket that she had on.
Ooh,
He didn't find the body because it had hopefully washed out, or supposedly, so as far as he tells
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
But he
on the
found
beach was a,
he did find her locket, and he thought that maybe you should have it as a souvenir or a memento
A job.
of the hard task we had to do.
maybe the locket was her beloved, whoever she was jealous about.
Mm.
Great.
Jonathan Willoughby.
Mm-mm.
Wonderful, Lloyd. That's very,
Yeah.
very
X-carding Willoughby.
Oh, no. Fair.
I don't want a Skywalker
That's fair.
problem.
How is this all about this one family?
Somehow Emperor Willoughby has returned.
Who's grandchild?
Yeah, I
You're
had
nobody. You're normal. You're nobody.
I have to
Willoughby!
I have to derail us for one, just because there's one TikTok I saw that cracked me up, because I never even really thought of this, because I try not to think of the prequels too much. But this
fair.
cracked me up because they're talking about in the last one. What is that? Whatever the last prequel was. I don't
Sith.
remember. One of them.
Yeah.
I think it was the Sith one. When he was like, okay, so wait, Emperor Palpatine wants to kill Padme, but he won't do it himself, so he gets Dooku to do it. And Dooku wants to kill Padme, but he don't want to do it himself, so he hires Jango Fett to do it. And then Jango Fett's gonna kill Padme, but he don't want to do it himself, so he hires this assassin to kill Padme, who doesn't want to do it herself, so she sends this robot to kill Padme, but the robot don't want to do it himself, so he sends out these little wormy things to kill Padme. And then eventually Jango Fett kills the assassin that he hired to kill Padme, and it was just like,
Loose ends. Yeah.
I never really even thought that deep about it, but that's hilarious.
And the worms are like, do you wonder what sort of thing we're involved in here?
Just this chain of people who want to kill Padme and don't want to do it
feel like doing
themselves.
this. You wormy.
I don't really ever think about the assignments.
Why don't we send some of these mites that are on us off together?
You know what? We could use a day off. We could
Yeah.
really use a day off.
Oh,
Let's send
now
the
you're
mites
talking-
out and go off to a drink. Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah.
unionizing again.
I heard
I'm just
the
telling you,
queen.
we should extract all the wealth we get from our flavor.
I'm apolitical. I don't.
You know, if you're apolitical, you're just supporting the
You're
oppressors.
complicit if you're apolitical, Honano. We talked about this. You can't be apolitical in a political context.
Star Wars Episode 3.5, Wrath of the Mites.
3.5.
okay. That's awesome.
Revenge of the Mites.
So how is what the fuck's his name? Lloyd. How is Lloyd delivering this to you?
I mean, it sounded like that did sound like how he would do it. Of like, well, I thought about exactly what would be most appropriate. And like Lloyd has spent all night shopping for me. Well, Dr. Safdie, I didn't want to just get you any old thing, so I thought I might get something that's is a reminder of times that we've spent together, so that maybe we could spend more time together. Just like
no.
like little like just like unnecessary sentimentality, and then like I don't want to be reminded of this ghost that we brought back to life and then murdered.
Killed.
and it places it like around Paloma's neck, and
No.
that is that's too much, Lloyd, too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. It still has a little meat on it. Let me get that off.
Oh, Lloyd, that is a lot. And Lloyd just tells the entire story of like, well, and like I had already gotten rid of the body, as you know, because I promised all of you that you wouldn't have to do it. And so then I had to go back to the place that I put it. Don't worry, I won't tell you where it is, or anyone else for that matter. Grab the locket. Weird that it came back into a corporeal form and then also had a locket. This must be very significant to that ghost. You see, and you can like look at it, and it is like opening it up and like showing. It's gonna got like a little person. It's maybe like a man. Maybe this was her lover or something. Lloyd like doesn't know the ghost story, and Paloma recognizes the man, and it's just like, oh. Yes, Lloyd, thank you so much. I don't want to be keeping you from your duties. And
I'm off to school.
yeah, no, one never stops learning, they say.
Yeah. I think Harley is the one that brings you the body part.
He's just dragging in the sack behind him, and he just throws it.
I think he has left it on again. Like I think he's gotten into the habit of leaving it on the doorstep of Hargrave.
Right.
Which body part did he bring you?
Let's see what makes sense with what we did last night. Arms.
Oh
Because
yeah.
of my arms.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, and they are
They withered?
weirdly intact arms of a child, and in fact they're still in the sleeves of a coat.
Is the coat that I just saw?
It's the same. Well, it's the same color as the coat you just saw. It's probably it's impossible that's the same.
I need to go to bed.
But yeah, they're like it's wrapped like in a butcher's paper. And he said, stop by the butcher's, got some fresh some fresh, what is it? A fresh pork leg for you or whatever.
Do you need some salve for those arms?
Oh no.
But yeah, they're
These
still
look quite moisturized, actually,
Yeah.
Gareth.
and it like there's no like if he like it looks like he kind of like sliced them off neatly, took them out, washed them. They're very clean, like even under the fingernails, and then placed them back in these.
Well, there's no
mini
hands,
suits.
because I'll be getting hands later.
Yeah, they're just like these, like a little Christmas meat log, little baby arm. But yeah, it is wearing the same color and fabric sleeve as the child that you met in the woods was wearing.
Just troubling objects for you across the board.
The only really thing to do now is just to get some sleep. My brain is unable to hold it.
Let's see.
And Paloma is just like, don't wake me for breakfast. I'll be sleeping in.
And I noticed that you did not pick the do not receive any blowback or complications from the night. So
I'm sure nothing bad will happen. We saw the cops. They saw
Yeah,
us.
it'll
They
be
knew
fine.
that I wasn't doing anything.
yeah. And that was your first Coven night phase. So that's 1 of 6.
Oh, good. Those are fun.
And everyone else gets a tick on the clock. And next morning, you're since you only have 2 real threats,
Oh no.
we get another
What
threat
does-
in the morning.
Why is it being qualified?
Because the Coven is an extra threat.
Oh,
So you can have 3 threats plus the coven and plus the
And
orphan
we-
that becomes a threat.
we completely don't have to worry about the camera ever again either. So
Nope, it's totally off the table as far as you know. Yeah,
Totally fine.
yeah.
Will
Everything.
never ever be a problem for us.
I have I
Yeah.
have a technical question for
Yeah.
in terms of my Dawn questions. Is a ghost a human?
Oh no! Did you fuck a ghost?
Well, I need to fuck a human.
Right. No,
My
I
two
think
choices
I
there's
think it
fuck a
needs to be
human and
a-
fuck a dark entity. But I'm like, if it's not a dark entity, if it's just like a regular good ghost,
I think it's
of
gonna
a
be
human.
a mortal human who's alive. Yeah.
go just checking. Just making sure I can't fuck a human ghost
Oh, particular.
Oh, Ava.
to satisfy the human part of the question.
Ava's not that kind of girl.
That's who I was thinking of.
I know.
Oh,
Whoa! Don't let Ava into this. Too pure.
Oh.
She's not a dark entity either, so I guess there's no question I can satisfy by having sex with Ava.
And were you trying to do that just really quickly?
Ava.
Quick, before the sun, Ava,
Just-
before the sun comes up.
Just planning my day. No, it's just because this is new questions for the new day. So
Oh, new day. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought we were rushing in.
no. It's for the whole next day. I've picked my new questions.
Gareth had that look on his face again. Best not to go into his room.
oh no.
Anything could be happening in there. He had the Tenzi with him, so.
I think I want to. Oh man, I think I want to see if I can get the let someone touch you and then make them pay a price for it.
Nice.
Yes.
I've never managed
5
to.
pounds, motherfucker.
You can go to the brothel. Yes.
I just need to work the brothel for one night.
That's true. I mean, Francis is popular enough that he literally could. Probably somebody would pay him just to touch him. Please, sir, I'll give you 5
Part of
pounds
the part of the new brothel.
if I can just caress your coat.
Oh right. I demand
Cool.
1 clue as payment.
And that is that whole done. And we're back at day. And I think that's a great place to stop. Boom. Yeah. Quick
Cool,
stars
so,
and wishes. Wanna
By
do that?
tonight, we'll probably knock that coven out. It'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy, no problem.
Easy.
Yeah.
So far, our methods have been
It's been
really,
great.
Surprisingly good for.
really worked better than I thought they would. if
Okay,
I'm honest.
That's, all that good rolling means we're fucked next time.
Gambler's fallacy. Curse
True.
you.
Right.
Hot hands.
that's
Cool.
right.
Let's do
I don't fall
stars
for
and
the
wishes. Starting with Heath.
Let's see. Do I got any wishes? I don't know that I got any wishes really.
Nice.
I do like this sort of mechanic we've discovered of like things benefiting both parties. So it's kind of fun being able to help each other out instead of just well, and like the echoes in the night thing when like
Yeah.
that affected
Oh, yeah.
me and you,
I was
and then
gonna.
affected me and Nicole. So it's like instead of each of us having to just remember to do our own. Oh, you didn't remember doing Echo in the Night? Too bad. It's nice to be able to like. It's just
Yeah.
fun to be able when you can like help somebody else out and be like, here, let me
That's often.
hand you an Echo in the Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. No wishes?
I can't think of nothing.
Cool. Let's do Peter then.
I think star for this session is. This is one of. I think this has been one of my favorite between sessions for just following the story where it goes. Starting out with, let's punch the witches in the face. And that turns into, we're all going straight to the gardens to find it. And then I really dug Nick taking the damage and then seeing where the rest of that. Just kind of, I think, I want to emulate that of being more willing to get hit by a condition for that, if that's where the story wants to go. A wish, it might be nice to just kind of check in after the after an unseen and say what are some details that worked for us there, just to get it a little more top of mind and make it a little easier on us to, just because I have the like audience suggestion gets flushed out of my brain immediately problem.
Yeah.
And any little bits that can help me retain are good. Bum, bum. Yeah, I also had a star for, I liked the one cop being I know this came from the dice, but the one cop being a fan of Francis.
Mhm.
I'm generally putting a star on NPCs having a connection to us.
Yeah.
Is fun to work with, I think, and serves my general habit of, oh, there's an NPC. We're going to build them up and fill them with details and
Yeah.
put more on them than the game structure probably intended. Yeah, but generally really happy with how the session went.
Awesome.
I also really liked just watching Nicole deal with the child in the woods.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was fun. Because I don't know, I enjoyed it from like a weird personal bent too. Because like I don't have kids, I'm not having kids, so I know there's very different styles. But like I don't know why, like it kind of particularly annoys me when people like treat children so different. Like, hi little guy, how are you? And I just like that she's just like, you're a person. You need to fucking learn how to live in life. I'm going to train you.
What are you talking about the fucking witches?
You don't get any special treatment because you're a fucking child. Grow up. Get up. Stop crying. Shut up.
I'm making my own child. You're not special. I can make one of you.
It's not that far aesthetic distance from me.
Well, like I mean, it was comedic in this context.
Yeah,
but also, like,
I tend to treat them like adults. I don't
exactly, and I like that when I see people who
insult
actually
them.
do that. Like when I see parents who just like talk to their kids like people, and not
Yeah.
like baby talk.
I think
them.
I used to rock Pie's world when I used to do that. Like she's gotten used to me doing that, but I think at first she was like I remember just being like, seems like we're having problems. Let's work through this. And she was like,
I'm going to my room.
and I was like, oh, okay, cool. You're not my child. Yeah, and I think I think my star and wish are very similar to Heath and bound together. Like I was like, okay, as a player, I'm like, don't go punch the witches. And as Paloma, a little bit, was like, wait. But then I was like, but not enough to, like, I was like, I'm not stopping this train. This is real fun.
It's more like the improv thing of, I can't believe I'm going to go punch the witches.
I can't believe we're gonna go. Don't leave. And I did like following that and being like, well, if me being being in the moment and following from that, but I feel like when I'm doing that well, I forget the other mechanics of the game. So I really, my other star is that I really appreciated the ways in which we helped one another out. Like I really appreciated the Echo in the Night getting kind of handed to me.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's something I want to watch for myself, of like having both of those layers, like in the moment, like reacting off of, okay, there's a child here, what I'm gonna do. I'm probably going to follow it, even though I know that's a really bad idea. But at the same time being like, okay, what were the echoes? Okay, what does Francis need? How can I set him up for that? I feel like I was a little bit zoomed in this time, and I kind of want to toggle more next time, I think. And I like Peter's idea, though, of being like, all right, what details did we notice? Because it also goes out of my head. But I was noticing this time of like, oh, because I did that really well this time, I like totally abandoned any of the like more directorial view stuff. I was like, oh, I'm gonna maybe play with toggling next time.
I feel like if we were playing in person, we might have like post-its that we'd put on the table of these details.
Well, I also thought about it because it kind of like a couple of things. Like one, I specifically remembered. I want to say I think it was one of Nicole's previous wishes. I think about like wanting to remember Echoes in the Night more, and I remember it coming up in discussion more to do with like how Mark, as the game master, can also help give us helpful reminders and be like, hey, maybe. And so that's just what made me go like, oh, you know what? I mean, if Mark can do that, then any of us can do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Mark that does that. And then that was combined with when I didn't purposefully do one for me and Peter, but then Mark was like, "Oh yeah, I fixed you both because you were both there." I was like, "Oh, ding! Wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's a cool mechanic to exploit."
Yeah, and like if you didn't bring up the one, it's like, oh, like Peter described, it could happen. It doesn't have to happen in the it's in the unseen, and then you see it because like Peter described the room in the eyes of the old woman after the child had been crying. So you can also bring details from the previous scenes into the unseen.
Yeah, that's another
I
thing I
didn't
was
realize
thinking
that could
is,
happen. That was cool.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of times we get focused on whatever just the last unseen was, but it's like you can call back to any of the unseen stuff.
Or vice versa. You can from if you don't know what to do in a scene, it's like, what happened in the unseen? Oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's
And then that beginning, like y'all were talking about following the narrative, that was fun because like I actually never expected that. I the way I fully thought it was gonna go was he and the man was like, "Let's go kill witches," and I thought you two would be like, "No, come on, calm down. We're not, let's calm down and not rush into things." And then we just rushed into it. I was like, "Oh, well, this is good too." I didn't actually think we would go rushing into it, but then when we did, I'm like, "This is a great choice."
Oh.
Nick, did you have any other wishes?
No, that's it. I was just thinking about like when one goes well, I forget the other one.
Yeah, I think this was a great example of exactly what you were just talking about. Is like, I had zero plan going into this. I like, you may have gone after the coven, you may have gone after the vampire, you may have gone after the serial killer. Finally,
you mean that one we still haven't touched at all? That one?
Yeah.
We're not the police. We are not the police. We only do supernatural stuff, and so far that one's not supernatural.
Yeah, so it was really cool. It's like completely open to whatever happens, and like, oh yeah, pull up the map of the park, and there, great, and then be like, we're going there right now.
It's like,
I know, like, it's like, well, I know you can't defeat them until you answer the question mechanically. So like, I don't know what this is gonna look like. let's find out. And like, it was like, as far as I'm concerned, like you could have like immediately showed up at the camp and then we see what happens. But y'all like took a little bit of time wandering around, which was also worked out great. And I really love, and this has been throughout the entire time, like the splitting the party thing. Like you're not afraid to be like, oh yeah, one person's off in the woods with a kid who's a witch, and the other two are like talking to actual witches who are doing magic shit at them.
Calling the cops.
And if this were a different game, that would be a TPK. But it was just fucking awesome this time because the way it works. So yeah, like stars all around to like just following the story. And yeah, like I think zooming in and out is cool. I think one of the main functions in a game like this for the keeper is, because I don't like write up an adventure for you to go through. But one of the primary things that's like one of the roles that falls to the keeper is kind of like keeping an eye on the rules while you are zoomed in. So like you can, you don't have to think about like, oh, what move am I going to do? You just say like, I'm playing with this kid, and oh fuck, her arms came off. Then that's when I bring mechanics in. And so it's nice that y'all don't feel restrained by like not knowing all the rules all the time or all that. It's just like, oh, just do a thing and then
don't remember any of my moves ever.
Yeah.
Forget to be vulnerable in the vulnerable scene.
Exactly. I was about to say, like when we were like, how does this vulnerable scene work? And Mark's like, well, let me read you move that we all can read in that tab that none of us ever do. That one? Okay, yeah. I guess we could also just go and read that, but we don't.
I think I had forgotten there was a whole tab for moves. I was like, oh, I just look at hunters and threats and sometimes the unseen if it's nighttime.
And wishes, man, I don't know. Y'all have like, we have a very broad search tree in front of you. There's a lot of places to investigate and things to look at. And yeah, I don't have any particular wishes about which one you're going after, or if y'all go after different ones, or yeah, I just am eager to see what happens next.
Stars and witches.
Yeah, witches.
I really like the one that did the water thing with that was a good one.
Yeah.
I partially made the I have the big list of you can see it now. The big list of characters that we've met before and the little graveyard. And they all have little symbols. Like here are some supernatural, like Valis and the ghosts and the entity from the void. Like a bunch of there's dead ones, there's magical ones, there's ones who are in the Society Obscura, there's ones who are your cultists, and sort of just like not. It feels like there's been a lot of stuff that's happened. There's a lot to keep track of, and so I'm just trying to make some interesting connections to see if I can take a little bit of load off by reincorporating instead of like
constantly introducing new stuff.
Every time making up new stuff. It's like, it could be, Gladstone came back. Yeah, that's great.
That's why I appreciated Whistler showing up. Good, we know him.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, we're kind of at a point where every NPC is like, who is this person? It's like, it's this person again.
And so that's more a wish for me to like look back at my notes and be like, I can bring back that thing instead of, I don't know, it's Maurice Potemkin. He's a barber and he's got spoons for hands. So that's mostly for me. Otherwise super fun. This was a very, very cool one. I had no idea what happened, and I loved everything that did happen. So,
and one of the things I like about all the games we play, but continues to happen with this, is I love games. Again, as opposed to someone growing up playing traditional role-playing games like D&D and all that, where, like you said, you have one guy who's in charge of everything. He writes up the manual. He tells you what you see. And it's like so much more fun when we all get to build together. And you're like, okay, what does this look like? Or how do you feel about this? Or what does the witch look like? Tell me. And it's not just you dictating what the world is and us reacting to it.
Yeah, and that's why I went around and asked everyone a question about the park when you're in. It's like, it might just be like, there's creepy trees here. There's a cat. Okay, cool. And then we can move on. But y'all added stuff that was like, cool, I can use that and use that and use that. I was not actually intending the child to be a thing. It was like, you thought you saw a child because maybe you're seeing things, maybe not. What do you think about that? You're just gonna keep walking? Great. But no.
Chase it down, grab it.
Yeah. I just love the way.
Listen to your elders.
Slow in.
She's gonna go teach that child some manners.
Look, young lady, boy, whatever you are.
Young witch.
You little witch. Cool. Anything else notes wise?
I don't think so.
Awesome. Cool. Then I will stop the live stream. Thank you for tuning in. If anyone did, bye. Sorry I didn't chat.